Hello, everyone, and welcome to Beloit for All-Star Football Weekend on Smoky Hills PBS. It's the Kansas 8-man All-Star Division II football game. I'm Jeremy McGuire, along with analyst Larry Jansen. Larry, I tell you what, football in the summer, it's a pretty cool deal.
It's pretty toasty, too, because I've been here, since Thursday, watched some practices. You just walk out of the dorm rooms, and by golly, you're sweating already. At the end of the day, your T-shirt's totally wet. But it's nice to be here. Their kids are excited. They're staying hydrated, and that's important. And so it'll be a slobber-knobber good games, I think, today.
You look at these two teams, and they've just had a short time to come together. But as you mentioned, you've been here watching practices. They've come together, and we should expect to see some fireworks from these two teams today.
You're going to see a lot of misdirection, lots of RPOs, the run-pass options, because both teams, what I've seen, all four teams are used the same type of thing. But here, as far as Eric Detwater, they're doing that. Lots of misdeception for the East, D2 East, and same thing for the West, Charlie Austin and Gene Glenn.
When it comes down to it, you look at, basic football. What they don't want to do is they don't want to turn the ball over, and they do not want to get down a lot early.
Well, that's right. And, of course, Eric Detwater, he said, well, we got to dominate the line of scrimmage. He wants to, read the defense real well, offensive keys for him to win, and then, of course, execute the plays very well. And, again, like on defense, they don't want to have any turnovers. Both teams both said that as far as in their pregame stuff. But the West, they're going to they want sustained blocks up front. They want to hold on to football, no turnovers, basically what that amounts to, and avoid any mental mistakes. So they only had 7 practices total, Jeremy, this week. So it's how quick can they mesh things together.
It should be a fun one. We'll have more from Trojan Field and Beloit when we come back on Smoky Hills PBS.
Production of the 8-man All-Star Game is made possible by Midway Co-op Association of North Central Kansas congratulates our student athletes on their selection to the Division II All-Star Team. We are proud of your accomplishments. Simpson Farm Enterprises of Hayes, Ransom, Great Bend, and Beloit. Bar 6 Manufacturing Incorporated, Protection, Kansas. Leitner Buildings in Hayes and Atwood. Cheyenne County Hospital, Clinics, and County Health Department, serving Northwest Kansas. Thunderbird Insurance, Jeff Bimes, Independent Insurance Agent, Bird City, Kansas. Republic County Hospital, serving North Central Kansas and South Central Nebraska. Crustbuster Speed King, Incorporated, in Spearville and Dodge City, Kansas. Miller Welding, Incorporated, serving the Downs, Kansas area. Active Balance Chiropractic and Acupuncture Clinic in Atwood, Bird City, and Goodland. At Next Tech Wireless, we're proud to invest in Kansas communities. We have nearly 50 locations across the state to support your wireless needs. We're friends, we're neighbors, we are Kansas. Kippa's Insurance Agency, protecting clients since 1988. Our priority is to help protect yours. American Implement, Wheeler, Kansas. Indebted to the past, committed to the future. Scholar Company, located in Downs, Kansas, 709 Commercial. M&M Seeds, channel seedsmanship at work, serving the Glen Elder area.
Programming on Smoky Hills PBS is made possible in part by an underwriting grant from Nextech, providing the area with top-notch broadband, business, technology, and advertising solutions. Nextech proudly supports public broadcasting and all of its ventures, impacting the economic growth of rural communities.
And now, we are ready for the introduction of today's All-Stars. The Division II East Squad is wearing the gold uniforms and will be the visiting team on the scoreboard. And the Division II West Squad is wearing green uniforms and will be the home team. So first, for the East, from Wetmore, number 1, Cale V. McQueen. Cale's parents are Shannon and Melissa McQueen, and his coach is Rick Schnacker. For the West, from South Barber, number 1, Emilio Perez. Emilio's parents are Rudy and Nicole Perez, and his coach is Matt Cantrell. For the East, from Frankfurt, number 2, Aiden Gerstner. Aiden's parents are Eric and Brooke Gerstner, and his coach is Nick Anderson. For the West, from Caldwell, number 4, Trey Sternad. Trey's parents are Troy and Julia Sternad, and his coach is Sean Blosser. For the East, from Wakefield, number 3, Connor Murphy. Connor's parents are Kyle and Julia Murphy, and his coach is Chris Freeman. For the West, from Cheyenne, number 5, Colton McCarty. Colton's parents are Michael and Amy McCarty, and his coach is Chris Walden. For the East, from Hanover, number 5, Colin Juneman. Colin's parents are Ron and Danae Juneman and Lori Juneman, and his coach is Matt Hoyer. For the West, from Central Plains, number 6, William Lehman. William's parents are Jordan and Rachel Lehman, and his coach is Chris Steiner. From Axtell, number 7, Mitchell Busig. Mitchell's parents are Dale and Erica Busing, and his coach is Eric Detweiler. For the West, from South Haven, number 7, Cooper Wolf. Cooper's parents are Doug and Julie Wolf, and his coach is Reese Blaylock. For the East, from Frankfurt, number 8, Gavin Cornelison. Gavin's parents are James and Dinah Cornelison, and his coach is Nick Anderson. For the West, from South Central, number 9, Jonathan Robles. Jonathan's parents are Victor and Rosie Robles, and his coach is Charlie Austin. For the East, from Hanover, number 10, Jacob Juneman. Jacob's parents are Steve and Tiffany Juneman, and his coach is Matt Hoyer. For the West, from St. Francis, number 12, Shadron Blanca. Shadron's parents are Sean and Shauna Blanca, and his coach is Nick Fawcett. For the East, from St. John's Catholic, number 11, Braden Perez. Braden's parents are Tony and Stacy Perez, and his coach is Dean Gingler. For the West, from Caldwell, number 13, Jude Stowe. Jude's parents are Joel Stowe and Delilah Subera, and his coach is Sean Blosser. For the East, from Lebo, number 12, Andrew Bailey. Andrew's parents are Jeff Bailey and Melody Tucker, and his coach is Brian Hadley. For the West, from Wilson, number 15, Cooper Weinhold. Cooper's parents are Travis and Tanya Weinhold, and his coach is Tony Brokish. For the East, from St. John's Catholic, number 21, Blake Perez. Blake's parents are Tony and Stacy Perez, and his coach is Dean Engler. For the West, from Stafford, number 17, Clayton Schreiber. Clayton's parents are Tim and Don Schreiber, and his coach is Taylor Bauman. For the East, from Axtell, number 24, George Bowley. George's parents are Martin and Sheila Bowley, and his coach is Eric Detweiler. For the West, from Wheatland Grinnell, number 21, Trevor Zarbanicki. Trevor's parents are Ed and Carla Zarbanicki and Walt and Julie Dickman, and his coach is Jesse Vincent. For the East, from Lakeside, number 29, Wyatt Eberly. Wyatt's parents are Travis and Mary Eberly, and his coach is Drew Dusky. For the West, from Logan, number 23, Ian Sparks. Ian's parents are Robert Tebbs and Jessica Sparks, and his coach is Mike Jenner. For the East, from St. Paul, number 42, Wilson Smith. Wilson's parents are Scott and Joni Smith, and his coach is Keith Wyatrack. For the West, from Victoria, number 30, Javon Pruitt. Javon's parent is Amanda Pruitt, and his coach is Doug Eberly. For the East, from Pike Valley, number 44, Brennan Flavin. Brennan's parents are Kelly and Jennifer Flavin, and Caroline and Keenan Elwood, and his coach is Jeremy Miller. For the West, from Brewster, number 35, Brian Haas. Brian's parents are Mike and Emily Palmer, and his coaches are Brett DeFeller and Greg Wolf. For the East, from Pike Valley, number 51, Ethan Benny. Ethan's parents are Stephen and April Benny, and his coach is Jeremy Miller. For the West, from South Central, number 52, Cale Lindsay. Cale's parents are Chris and Nikki Lindsay, and his coaches are Gene Glenn and Charlie Austin. For the East, from Osborne, number 52, Lance Kaiser. Lance's parents are Stephen and Darcy Kaiser, and his coach is Steve Tiernan. For the West, from St. Francis, number 69, Jesse Baxter. Jesse's parents are Judy Baxter and the late Tim Baxter, and his coach is Nick Fawcett. For the East, from Hartford, number 62, Andy Andrews. Andy's parents are Kevin Andrews and Heather Laux, and his coach is Colton Barrett. For the West, from Central Plains, number 70, Tyler Holmes. Tyler's parents are Toby and Sherry Holmes, and his coach is Chris Steiner. For the East, from Lebo, number 64, Jerome Ferguson. Jerome's parents are Eric and Joanna Ferguson, and his coach is Brian Hadley. For the West, from Mineola, number 72, Nathan Esplund. Nathan's parents are Chris and Donna Esplund, and his coach is Rego Hahn. For the East, from Waverly, number 72, Zachary Skillman. Zachary's parents are Chris and Sherry Skillman, and his coach is Nick Frenza. For the West, from Victoria, number 88, Trenton Engel. Trenton's parents are Darren and Jackie Engel, and his coach is Doug Overly. And for the East, from Hanover, number 80, Jacob Cliff. Jacob's parents are Tim and Jenny Cliff, and his coach is Matt Hoyer. And for the West, from Sylvan Lucas Unified, number 90, Trey Barrientos. Trey's parent is Allison McGuire, and his coach is Ben Lavertu. The coaches for the East, assistant coach from Lebo, Brian Hadley. Assistant coach from Rock Hills, Cody Hamill. And assistant coach from Hartford, Colton Barrett. And the head coach of the 8-man Division II East All-Stars from Axtell is Eric Detweiler. Coaches for the West. The assistant coach from Mineola is Rego Hahn. The other assistant coach from Logan Palco in his final game coaching, Mike Jenner. And the co-head coaches for the West, from Coldwater, South Central, Gene Glenn. And the other co-head coach from Coldwater, South Central, Charlie Austin.
And those are your rosters for today's game. When we come back, it's time for kickoff from Trojan Field on Smoky Hills PBS.
Most Inspirational Player Award. Joining us from Hampton has been in charge.
Production of the 8-man All-Star Game is made possible by Bar 6 Manufacturing Incorporated, Protection, Kansas. Midway Co-op Association of North Central Kansas congratulates our student athletes on their selection to the Division II All-Star Team. We are proud of your accomplishments. Simpson Farm Enterprises of Hayes, Ransom, Great Bend, and Beloit. Crustbuster Speed King, Incorporated in Spearville and Dodge City, Kansas. Miller Welding, Incorporated, serving the Downs, Kansas area. Active Balance Chiropractic and Acupuncture Clinic in Atwood, Bird City, and Goodland. Cheyenne County Hospital, Clinics, and County Health Department, serving Northwest Kansas. Republic County Hospital, serving North Central Kansas and South Central Nebraska. Thunderbird Insurance, Jeff Bynes, Independent Insurance Agent, Bird City, Kansas.
Programming on Smoky Hills PBS is made possible in part by an underwriting grant from Nextech, providing the area with top-notch broadband, business, technology, and advertising solutions. Nextech proudly supports public broadcasting and all of its ventures, impacting the economic growth of rural communities.
Scholar Company, located in Downs, Kansas, 709 Commercial. M&M Seeds, channel seedsmanship at work, serving the Glen Elder area. American Implement, Wheeler, Kansas, indebted to the past, committed to the future. Kippa's Insurance Agency, protecting clients since 1988. Our priority is to help protect yours. At Next Tech Wireless, we're proud to invest in Kansas communities. We have nearly 50 locations across the state to support your wireless needs. We're friends, we're neighbors, we are Kansas.
And welcome back to Trojan Field and Beloit. Jeremy McGuire along with Larry Jantz. It is the 8-man Division II All-Star game on Smoky Hills PBS. And Larry, these teams, they've gotten through the introductions. Maybe a little bit of the nerves are out of the way, but they probably aren't all the way gone until those pads connect for the first time.
Yeah, for many, it's going to maybe be their last game, and their parents is out here. That's incredible feeling for them, and what a beautiful day for them.
It is perfect. The field looks great. Rodney Paulin and his crew have done a fantastic job getting Trojan Field ready as usual, and we're set and ready to go. And you look at these two teams, they've been practicing all week. They want to come out. They want to play hard, but they're going to want to maybe not take that big gamble, especially defensively. They don't want to give up a big play early.
I think you're correct as far as on people don't want to make the mistake, have a turnover early and stuff like that. So the jitters will be flying, I think, until they get first or hit or two.
Captains for both squads on their way out to midfield for the pregame coin toss. The Division II East team in yellow with the green numerals and the gray pants. The Division II West team, they have the green jerseys with the yellow numerals and the gray pants. The officials for today's game, we have Adam Von Winkle with 22 years of experience, Tracy Kingsbury with 25 years of experience, John Terrell with 25 years of experience. Those two gentlemen from a pretty good town, by the way, I know it.
I think they know football.
They might know a little football from Smith Center. And then Kevin Buser with 18 years and Shane McCall with 30 years. So one thing they did do right so far today is the officials are wearing shorts.
That's right.
So we're going to start with that. And the coin toss is complete. The East squad has won the toss, and they have elected to receive, and they will go from right to left, and we are about ready to kick off. So what are these young men feeling, especially the ones that aren't playing college ball, knowing this is their last kickoff as far as to open a game?
Oh, they're excited. They're jumping around. Look at all the enthusiasm. And it'll be a good until they get the first hit, I think.
And good crowds on hand here on both sides of the field. The sun is out, a little bit of breeze, so a beautiful day for football. And, this week has been miserably hot, but today, knock on wood, pretty good so far. So back deep for the East squad, they'll send Colin Juneman from Hanover, and then Aiden Gerstner from Frankfurt will go back near the goal line. Trey Barrientos from Sylvan Lucas will kick things off for the West squad.
And get ready for some excited run-pass options because Darryl, he'll open it up.
Here we go. Barrientos puts that right foot into the ball. We are underway, and that one is deep and into the end zone. And a touchback, and we already got some excitement. Ian Sparks from Logan just lit somebody up on that kickoff return. And it's 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line for the East. Jacob Juneman from Hanover, the 6'4", 170-pounder, leader of Matt Hoyer's squad this year. The Wildcats, another state title, and they have it 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. His offensive line, snapping it to him, will be Andy Andrews from Hartford. Also on the line, Zachary Skillman from Waverly, Brendan Flavin from Pike Valley. And it is going to be Juneman on the keeper, goes right side. Actually, that was a direct snap to his teammate, Colin Juneman, so we got half right. And he's going to pick up 7 yards, make it 8 up to the 23.
You're never wrong. Gentleman. The gentleman.
You got a pretty good shot of getting it right.
Up in Hanover, if you have Brunas forever, and then Gentleman's too.
So 2nd down and 2 from the 23-yard line, right in the middle of the field here in Beloit. One wide receiver right, one left, two in the backfield. Gerstner in motion. They're going to throw a little flare pass out to him. He's got a 1st down. Upended as he's knocked out of bounds by Jude Stowe from Caldwell. That is a backwards pass, we'll call it. So a gain of 4 on the play. It's enough for a 1st down.
Making the tackle on the play for the West is number 13, Jude Stowe. 4-yard gain on the play to the 27-yard line. 1st and 10 for the East.
47 seconds underway. First down of the ball game. Gerstner split to the far side along with Mitchell Busing from Axtell. And it's going to be an option to the right, and Juneman on the carry. He's hit and dropped over there on the far side. Looked like Cooper Wolf in on the tackle. Juneman picks up 5 on the play. So 3 running plays so far, Larry Jantz, and pretty good gains on all 3.
That's right. When the last time I made that successful was the misdirection. Try to get everybody going to the right, and they go back to the left weak side.
Well, you have to honor that misdirection, and got to stay home. 2nd and 5. They're going to throw it for the first time under some pressure, throwing it up the field. It's caught! Touchdown! East! On the receiving end, Mitchell Busing. That one goes for 48 yards and a score. There is a flag on the play, and I believe it's going to go against the defense. We'll find out. So a 48-yard touchdown pass.
Defensive holding against the West. Penalty is declined. So the 48-yard touchdown reception.
And of course, Mitchell Busing played for Eric Detweiler anyway, and he had 59 receptions this year for 1,096 yards and 17 touchdowns, and he just added in another one.
And now they'll go for the 2-point conversion. So 10:22 to go in the first quarter. And we already have some fireworks. And we talked about the big play in our pregame, and there's the first one of the day.
And, of course, the defense, they wanted to have no mental mistakes, find the football, and here we go.
Juneman pitches it out, looking for the goal line, diving, good, 2-point conversion. A strong run by Colin Juneman into the end zone for 2. And with 10:22 to go in the first quarter, the East strikes first. And they lead it by a score of 8-0.
That's an incredible duel with Juneman to Juneman. And stuck it right in there.
Well, they saw a lot of that during the regular season and throughout the playoffs this year. And then you mentioned that, and you talk about on the basketball floor, state championship there. They've got some athletes.
Yes, they do. And I think at Axtell, they beat them in the regular season and stopped a 20-game win streak, and then Hanover got them the second time around in playoffs. What a program he got up there for the Axtell Eagles and the Hanover Wildcats. Shows you how smart Eric is, and he's using those Hanover Wildcats to benefit.
Juneman with the short kick, and it is going to go out of bounds at the 20-yard line. So penalty on the play.
What option they're going to take?
We will wait and see. And they are going to place it at the 25-yard line. So first down and 10 for the West All-Stars. Offensive line, Trenton Engel, Victoria, Trey Barrientes, Sylvan Lucas, Tyler Holmes, Central Plains, Jonathan Robles at a wide receiver spot. Quarterback is Colton McCarty from Cheyenne from six-man football. 4 wide receivers. Robles gets the handoff, coming near side, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds. And we have a flag on the play, and that is going to be an illegal block in the back against the West squad from what I could tell from this vantage point. They will call a hold, so it'll be a 10-yard penalty. So the West not starting out like they wanted to. Some early mistakes, and they're going to be.
That's one of the keys that Coach Charlie said, to avoid mental mistakes, hold on to the football, sustain blocks. Well, the mistake bug got him right there.
So first down and 18. Penalty 10 yards from the spot of the ball. McCarty's going to keep it right up the middle. A tough run. He's going to be brought down.
Made good yards.
Hanging on for dear life was Ethan Benny from Pike Valley. The pickup of 6 on the play.
Had Wyatt Eberly in there from Lakeside also. He had linebacker, 139 tackles this year in the fumble recovery.
Shotgun. They're going to pitch it out. Coming near side. And Robles is going to be blasted out as he crossed the 30-yard line. And things are a little chippy out there right now. These guys are pretty prideful. They don't want to fall to anybody. A pickup of 7 on the play on the run by Robles.
We're going to find out whether that holding penalty or blocking the back hurt him here or not, because he got third down on a long 3.
Third down and long 3 or 4. Back to pass. McCarty out in the flat. Catch is made. First down.
Yep.
Emilio Perez from South Barber on the receiving end. Pushed out over there on the far side by George Voley.
Played down there for the South Barber Chieftains. Emilio Perez, 5'10", 165-pounder.
So the West was able to dig themselves out of a little bit of a hole here early. First down and 10 from the 36-yard line. Motion by Pruitt. He gets the pitch. He has a seam. Pruitt down the sideline and hit out of bounds as he crosses the 30 and down to the 27-yard line. 16 yards on the carry and a first down.
And, Jeremy, that's a look at your Carnival offense. There's nobody in the backfield when you start. And they sent a lot of people in motion, left to right.
Boy, Pruitt had a really nice seam over there to get up the field.
He's quick. And he's got a pretty good coach on old Doug Overley, huh?
He does. First down and 10. Motion, Chadron Blanca. McCarty options, and he is hit and dropped. Jacob Clipp from Hanover on the hit, a gain of a yard on the play.
Clipp's a defensive end and linebacker today. Had 129 tackles for the Hanover Wildcats, 1 interception and 2 fumble recoveries. Good job by Jacob Clipp, 6'1", 190-pounder.
Clipp on that defensive line along with Lance Kaiser from Osborne and Ethan Biddy from Pike Valley. George Voley at the linebacker, Blake Perez in the D-back, Andrew Bailey in there. So second down and 9 at the 26-yard line. Cooper Weinhold. They're going to have a reverse to Blanca, and he is hit and dropped. Benny is in there. Also, volley comes in there, and we're going to have a loss on the play of 3 yards back to the 29.
I think they did a little huddle study, a little video on that one.
Guaranteed.
Yes.
And that's what you say against an offense like this. You have to stay assignment sound. You can't give in to the misdirections.
You're
and the
absolutely
motions.
correct.
Follow
now we
the
got
blockers.
3rd and 12.
3rd down, 12 yards. Weinhold in motion. McCarty to throw it over the middle, and Blocka fumbled it, picks it back up, and he is pushed out of bounds. They are going to mark it at the 20, just outside the 25-yard line, a gain of 3 on the play. You know, Blocka, I don't think would have made the first down, but he's going
to make close.
He
He'd
lost
made
a
it
few
challenge,
yards
though.
by fumbling that ball. And the officials are going to talk about it right now, whether he had possession or not.
I think they did.
Yep, catch and
collection
fumble.
and fumble.
Well, here we go. 4th down and 9.
4th down and 9.
I would
Excessive.
look for Robles on this. He's split to the far side. Pruitt, they're going to option to the left. They pitch it to Pruitt. He's looking for room. He is not going to make the first down marker. Javon Pruitt knocked out of bounds just inside the 25, almost to the 23-yard line. A gain of a couple on the play. It is a turnover on downs, and 1st down and 10 for the East.
That's a great stop. They had him. They probably went back to the well one time when they had that good catch of that time before, the good run. But they stopped him this time.
That's solid, smart football. Seeing it again and getting after it. Barrientes has now come in on the defensive line for the West. Juneman throws it out in the flat. Catch is made by Gershner, and he's going to have a nice gain out across the 25. Perez on the tackle. Stowe is there. Gershner with the catch and run out to the 28-yard line. Gain of about 4 on the play.
Gain of 5 yards on the play. 2nd down and 5.
Second down, long 5 or short 6. Wins to the far side for the East squad. Juneman checks. He's going to run the option. That ball is pitched behind his teammate Colin Juneman out of bounds. And man, guys flying to the football, but a loss back to the 20-yard line. 8 yards on the loss, so it's going to bring up 3rd down and long.
Yeah, Trevor Zarbanecki, he's making sure that he didn't make any yards on that one, so set him for about, loses 6 yards. Be 3rd and 13.
3rd down and long. Ball spotted just outside the 20.
Well, you bet Jacob puts it in the air.
Well, I think that would be a safe bet right here.
Really? Yeah.
3rd and long. Juneman under pressure. Throws it out in the flat, and there is all kinds of running room. Still going down the sideline, all the way. Colin Juneman for the 59-yard touchdown.
And that's the big plays that the West didn't want them to see happen.
2nd touchdown pass of the ball game for Jacob Juneman.
To Colin Juneman. He had 54 catches this year for 687 yards, 14 touchdowns. Wide receiver, 6'2", 185-pounder. From Matt Hoyer's Hanover Wildcat.
With 6:05 to go in the first quarter, it is 14-0 East.
They're going for 2. Got a little spread offense.
Juneman to throw it under some pressure, throws it up, and it is knocked away, incomplete. I believe that was Look like Perez over there on the far side. And it's 14-0, but Larry Jantz, this is exactly what the West did not want to see happen. 2 big touchdowns, a 48-yarder, a 59-yarder. You blink, halfway through the first quarter, you're down 2 touchdowns.
That's right, and it was just a great screen action where they had them all in there and they dumped it over that screen, and it was fleet sailing all the way down to the end zone. Well, they tightrope the old sideline, didn't they?
They ran the receivers and the tight ends over to the far side of the field. That drew the attention of the defensive backs, and then they slipped the back out of the backfield, and the offensive line escorted them the rest of the way.
Well-designed play and well executed as well.
Well, Benny will put it on a tee this time. He doesn't really like what Juneman did last time. Yeah, he's not much size. The West needs something here. It's a high end-over-ender. It is returnable. Pruitt on the return. Up the seam, he's hit and dropped at the 25-yard line. And it will be first down and 10 there for the West.
I saw that Benny guy eat last few days. The program's got him listed at 270. I think they didn't put both feet on the scale. You know? I think 1 foot must have been hanging off the scale a little bit on Pro Benny.
You think Don Melby taught him how to eat up there
I think
at Pike
he
Valley?
did.
First down and 10. The West needs an answer. Robles in motion. McCarty throws it to him. A little dump pass. Robles, boy, he was not settling for an easy gain as he lowered his shoulder and got up near the 30.
He made some good
5
yards
on
out
the
of not
play.
much, didn't he? He made 5 or 6.
It'll be second down and 5. Bolton McCarty 3 for 3, 13 yards.
Second down and 5.
It's a nice tribute to the 8-man, letting a 6-man player play in the game. You know what?
Absolutely. Heck of an athlete. Blanca in motion. He's going to get the quick handoff. Not much room to operate. Kaiser in on the tackle.
They closed it.
Voley was also there, a pickup of 2.
Voley had 119 tackles this year for Axtell, 2 interceptions, 1 fumble recovery. Number 24, 5'10", 160-pounder, George Volley.
Third down and 2 for the West. They're looking for a big play. Will it happen here? Throw out in the flat. Catch is made. Robles fumbles it. It's on the ground.
Still on the ground.
Who's got it?
Hot potato.
And somehow, some way, the West keeps possession of that football. That ball was surrounded by East players.
But nobody controlled it and changed the possession, so I bet it went out of bounds, and the last team to have possession was the West, so it's a West down, first down.
So a gain of 4.
And a first down.
And it is a first down.
They got lucky on that one.
That looked like a greased pig out there on the field. So first and 10 from the 37.
Remember that second key was to hold on to the football.
Well, you know the co-head coaches from South Central won't like the fact that one of their own fumbled it. There's a pitch outside and a short gain on the play. Cooper Wolf from South Haven on the carry. He picks up 2. It'll bring up second and 8.
And Cooper Wolf, he played quarterback for South Haven, but today he's kind of a running back. 165-pounder, 6 foot from the Cooper Wolf from South Haven. Down there by Wellington.
Second down and short 8. Long 7. Inside handoff. Wolf with the carry. He's got a first down to the 25-yard line. A gain of 15 and a first down.
That was Perez. That was wide receiver Emilio Perez from South Barber on that carry. 5'10", 165-pounder. And they get to move the sticks, you Zebras.
So 1st and 10 from the 25. Shotgun formation. Motion. Handoff.
They
Nothing.
smothered him up.
Robles on the carry. Jacob Clipp in there.
Yep.
Also coming down was Gerstner. Connor Murphy was in there.
Loss of 2 yards on the play, back to the 27-yard line.
Yeah. Jacob Clipp was in on that too. He had under 29 tackles this year, 1 interception, 2 fumble recoveries, 6'1", 190-pounder from Hanover. Brings up second and about 12.
3:15 to go here in the first quarter. 14-0, the East All-Stars on top, thanks to the arm of Jacob Juneman. A 48-yard touchdown pass and a 59-yard touchdown pass. Perez in motion. McCarty's going to keep it. Lowers his shoulder. He's brought down. Murphy in on the tackle. And McCarty's going to pick up about 3 on the play. It'll bring up 3rd and long.
The misdirection did not work that time, Jeremy. They snuffed it out.
3 yards on the play to the 24-yard line. 3rd down and 9.
The challenge right now for the West All-Stars is to get a hat on Jacob Clipp.
That's right.
And easier said than done as he lines up almost anywhere. And we're going to have a false start on the West. Looked like Barrientos was a little early on that one.
Is a dead ball, illegal procedure penalty against the West. 5-yard penalty assessed, move the ball back.
Second penalty against the West.
3rd down and 14.
First one was that block in the back, a 10-yarder, and then now we had a illegal procedure for 5, huh?
So we got to figure they got 2 downs to pick up 14 yards.
Pass.
Wolf going to throw it. Has his man Weinhold at the 20. Lowers his shoulder, and he is about a half a yard short of the first down. So a little misdirection. And boy, Wolf stood in there as long as he could before he got leveled and delivered that ball.
And like we said earlier, he played quarterback for South Savin, so he's been used to throwing the ball down there.
So a pickup of 13, 4th and 1, and we have a timeout on the field. We'll take it with you. 1:24 to go first quarter, 14-0 East All-Stars. Okay, we'll keep it family rated. That's probably a good thing.
That's a blessing. Multiple blessings. Well, this is critical, you know what?
And welcome back to Beloit. 4th down and a short one. The West needs this in the worst way, and they are going to get it. Colton McCarty just continues to plow forward. He went right behind Tyler Holmes from Central Plains, and he picked up 3 on the play. It'll first down.
Well, you'd think that he could make a hole. Tyler Holmes is only 260, 5'10", plays for Eric Steiner down there. Chris Steiner, I mean, from Central Plains Oilers.
So first down and 10, the ball spotted just inside the 13-yard line. They'll go to the I formation. Weinhold at fullback. Blanca counter left side. Gets a block from Barrientos. Gets to the edge, and he is running like a freight train, and he's going to pick up yardage inside the 10 down to the 7, a pickup of 6.
Clip is on the tackle, plus the number 11, which is Braden Perez, 5'9", 160-pounder. He made 141 tackles this year, 1 interception, 4 fumble recoveries for St. John's Catholic.
Second down. Up the middle, Weinholz dives towards the 3. Depending on the spot, very close, but just shy of the first down. Just shy.
And Cooper Weinhold, he's a strong guy. 6'2", 215-pounders from the Wilson Dragons. Had 161 carries this year, 1,211 yards, 21 touchdowns, and even had receptions, 18 receptions, 283 yards, and 6 touchdowns in the air.
And
that's a tough run, buddy.
The chain gang getting their exercise just short of the first down, so it's going to be third down and short with 9 seconds to go here in the first quarter. So likely that was the final snap of the quarter. And they'll go to the other end of the field after they set the ball ready for play, and it'll be third down and short. But let's wait until they make that official.
Wind the clock.
Now they wind it. And here we go down to the end of the first quarter. After 1 quarter of play, the West is trailing. It's 14-0, Division II East All-Stars. We're back with your second quarter after this timeout on Smoky Hills PBS.
Production of the 8-man All-Star Game is made possible by Simpson Farm Enterprises of Hayes, Ransom, Great Bend, and Beloit. Leitner Buildings in Hayes and Atwood. Bar 6 Manufacturing Incorporated, Protection, Kansas. Midway Co-op Association of North Central Kansas congratulates our student athletes on their selection to the Division II All-Star Team. We are proud of your accomplishments. Active Balance Chiropractic and Acupuncture Clinic in Atwood, Bird City, and Goodland. Crustbuster Speed King, Incorporated in Spearville and Dodge City, Kansas. Thunderbird Insurance, Jeff Bynes, Independent Insurance Agent, Bird City, Kansas. Miller Welding, Incorporated, serving the Downs, Kansas area. Cheyenne County Hospital, Clinics, and County Health Department, serving Northwest Kansas. Kippa's Insurance Agency, protecting clients since 1988. Our priority is to help protect yours. At Next Tech Wireless, we're proud to invest in Kansas communities. We have nearly 50 locations across the state to support your wireless needs. We're friends, we're neighbors, we are Kansas. American Implement, Wheeler, Kansas. Indebted to the past, committed to the future.
The West knocking on the door, third down and short. Fumble on the play. Oh no, a fumble on the play. And recovered by the East. Well, they were knocking on the door, Larry Jans. And man alive, that was one of the only things that could have stopped that drive.
Yeah, hold on to the football is the second key that Charlie Austin and Gene Glenn had. And sustain blocks, avoid mental mistakes, and hold on to that football.
Well, now the defense is going to be called on again. First down and 10.
Could be a very big memento swing.
I would not be a bit surprised to see Eric Detweiler dial one up right here.
That's right. They're
going to be a run to the right side, and Colin Juneman with the direct snap out across the 5 up to the 8, picks up 4 on the play.
Making the tackle from the west, number 21, Trevor Zarbanicki, and number 17, Clayton Schreiber.
Trevor Zarbanicki in on the tackle. 2nd down and 6. Defensive backfield has to be aware.
He brought Jacob into this play. Gentleman had taken place of 64 there. Oh, Jerome Ferguson. So he got to play. Got Colin and Jacob both out there, don't he?
2nd down, 6. Jacob to take the snap, rolling to his left. In some trouble, throws it out, and Colin makes the play. And maybe a gain of a half a yard on the play. I'm going to say no gain on the play. It's going to bring up 3rd down. Good job by the West that time to stay home.
No gain on the play. Ball still at the 7-yard line. 3rd down and 6.
So 3rd down and 6.
Yes.
They need
just
just outside the 13 for a 1st down. The West, if they want to have any hope right now, they're going to need to make this stop. And I know we're early, but it can get out of control pretty quick. Motion by Gershner. Judeman to throw. Lays it up. Has a man out there, and just too much. Busing was the intended receiver, and if that pass is on target, that's another big score. But if.
That's right.
That is the first incompletion of the day for either side.
That's true. Now, Jeremy, they practice that same play multiple times in practice Thursday and Friday. And it's just try to catch them by sleep and people not playing sound defense.
Jacob Clipp is back. Kick is away, and it is a high spiraling kick that will be downed at the 20-yard line. 53 yards basically on the fly.
From the line of scrimmage?
From the line of scrimmage.
That's right. So he probably had at least 60.
Yeah, that was a heck of a kick. And you could gauge that by the reaction of the crowd when that ball took off.
That's right. You're right. Well, now we'll see what the West can do. They need to hold on to football for one thing.
Well, the defense did their job. Now the offense has to come through. Pitch to Blanca. Comes near side. Covers up that football, and we got a flag on the play right at the 27-yard line. And I think this one might be coming back. Well, they threw a flag, but didn't they throw a flag? Maybe I
never
blind.
saw one.
All right, so a gain of 7 on the play for Blanca.
Just because I didn't see one doesn't mean it didn't happen, though. You know.
They need the 30, just outside the 30 for a first. There's the pitch. Robles on the carry. He's going to have a first down. He
lost the ball again, out of bounds, I think.
No, I don't think so. What's the call? It is 3rd down, so it must have been out of bounds. That is the 2nd time that Robles has put the ball on the carpet.
I think they're going to try. They're just trying to steal that football. Punch it out of his hands.
Boy, he had a first down, and that ball came sailing out. 3rd down and 2. See if that offensive line can open up a hole here.
Yeah, he's running the old I-fan formation now.
Blanca, he is upended.
He got the first down, didn't he?
Well,
They
it's very close. I believe he has enough. He's got it by about half the length of the football. And we might have a measurement here. I'm going to call it by half the length of the football. What's your call?
Yeah, it looks like, maybe 3 inches they made it by the stripe.
I think
Straight
we're
down
gonna
from
get
us
it.
now, though. We got a good angle this time.
We do.
Look at there, half the
Half
football.
the length of a football.
He was right.
Not to say I told you so.
That's right.
But a first down. That's the 6th first down of the ball game for the West. They just haven't been able to punch anything into the end zone.
Not sustaining any long drives. Got to keep the chain gang moving.
1st and 10 from the West, and we're on the 31-yard line.
And this Zebra crew, they got 120 years total experience.
Trevor Zarbanicki in at fullback from Wheatland Grinnell. First down and 10, 31-yard line. They're going to roll to the right. McCarty's looking for some blocks. He has some, but, boy, really flowing well to the football. Jacob Clipp.
He's everywhere.
Gain of a couple. We'll call it 3 on the play. McCarty, 5 carries, 16 yards.
And what's
running for the
amazing
Cougars.
is Clip was on this side and makes a cackle crawl on the opposite side of the field. He's everywhere, Jeremy.
So I say, flow into that football.
Yeah, it is.
So if you're the West, you might be paying attention to that. He is flowing hard to the strong side to the ball. Would be surprised if we don't see something coming back the other way. McCarty's going to throw it. Has a man out there, lofts it out. All kinds of contact.
Right. Yep.
And a pass interference. That pass was intended for Clayton Schreiber from Stafford, but he got mugged.
Yeah. Clayton Schreiber, he is 6'3", 210 from Stafford. Had 970 yards this year, 15 touchdowns. Run the ball 4 times for 62 yards and 4 touchdowns on the ground for the Stafford.
So they will mark that one 15 yards from the line of scrimmage. And they'll mark it at the just outside the 31-yard line.
Defensive pass interference. 15-yard penalty assessed.
At least it's 1st and 10 for the West.
2-yard line, 1st and 10 for the West.
Well, West is, and there's
another
another
fumble.
fumble.
Quarterback exchange is something else. House never got it.
Ryan Haas on the recovery.
Yeah.
And a loss of a yard for him on the play.
Ryan House played for the Winona Brewster Titans. If Brewster by himself was called the Bulldogs. 168 carries, 1,154 yards this year, 24 touchdowns, 4 receivings for 15 yards. Ryan House, 5'11", 125-pounder.
Weinhold back in at fullback. They're going to go right side to Blanca. He has some running room as he lowers his shoulder. Shadron Blanca on the carry down to the 26. Gained of 7 yards on the play. Bring up 3rd down and 4.
3rd down and 4.
The ball at the 26-yard line. So the West really getting not big plays. They are moving the ball. Blanca running fairly straight up, and he is going to be brought down. Guess who?
Yeah.
Clip on the tackle at the ankles down to the 22-yard line. It'll bring up 4th down and 1. Gain of 3 on the play.
Clipped him up. He did.
Ball at the 22-yard line. 4th down and
McCarty coming to the sideline, gets play from Charlie Austin. 4th and 1.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if
Quarterback
Colton
snake.
McCarty does not keep this football this time.
He'll go right behind Holmes. He did.
Little silent count, pushes forward, and he's going to have the first down.
Yeah.
Pick up of a couple on the play and another first down for the West.
As we said before, Tyler Holmes, 5'10", 260-pounder playing center from Central Plains Oilers. If he can't get you a half a yard, why, you may not get one. Good job by Colton McCarty.
In a situation like that, you get up under your center, you goose your center, and you go.
I used to do that one. That's 100 years ago.
First down and 10. Robles motions to the near side. They hand it right up the middle and upended right away.
It was open for a while, but that hole's closed, didn't it?
Blanca on the carry. Volley coming up from underneath the pile.
Yeah.
Gain of a yard on the play.
Yeah, George Volley, 5'10", 160-pounder from the Axtell Eagles. Had 119 tackles this year, 2 interceptions, 1 fumble recovery. Or no, 2 fumble recoveries, excuse me.
5:24 and counting to go first half.
He closed that hole. He got 2nd and 9.
I formation. McCarty to Blanca. And down to the 15, a gain of 4 on the play. That was not a clean handoff, though. They've had some ball handling issues on the west side.
Yes, they did.
Gain of 3 yards on the play to the 15-yard line. 3rd down and 5.
Now, see, he's in I formation. He either runs the carnival, the bunch, or I. So they're setting I this time. Oh,
there's another fumble. And Blanco was able to get on it, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Loss of 6.
I'd say some of that's just mental mistakes.
Back to the 22-yard line.
So 4th down and about 11 and a half. They really need to find something right here.
22-yard line.
The West says we need 11, 12 yards. The East says we'd like to just stop you right now.
Here, yeah. Well, they're in an I formation again, Jeremy.
We'll see if they motion anybody out of this. They're going to throw it. McCarty looking, nowhere to go. Scrambles, hit, and dropped.
52, get him. Lance Kaiser. Lance Kaiser did it, get him.
The Osborne product on the tackle. That was a loss of 6 yards on the play and a turnover on downs. And so the East gets the stop. The West once again drives deep into East territory. Last time down, fumble. This time down, a fumble really setting up in a bad situation.
And that was a great job by Lance Kaiser. He had 80 tackles this year and 3 fumble recoveries. Now they go to offense.
First down and 10, and the West in some trouble. Juneman with a convoy. He has a first down. Stowe on the tackle. Also coming in, Zarbanicki. A gain of 12 on the play and a first down.
Yeah, Zarbanicki had 161 tackles this year and a fumble recovery for out there with the Wheatland Grinnell Shockers. 6'2", 230-pounder. He's a stout young man. Trevor Zarbanicki.
First and 10, 38-yard line. The East on the move again. Colin Juneman to take the direct snap this time. He's going to run to the left.
You wanted a pass.
They string it out. Stowe is there, and Perez came up and finished it off. Oh, nice play by the West defense to string that one to the sideline. No gain on the play.
There was a lot of good for that football. Was that Braden Perez, number 11? Who's in there that came in there steamrolling? Might have been him, huh? Wasn't?
Second down and 10.
Wait, there it is.
Back to pass.
Uh-oh.
He's going to line it up and has a man wide open and dropped. Oh, Aiden Gerstner was looking for the sideline and took his eye off the football for a split second.
He just wanted to make sure he's in bounds, didn't he?
He did. He did, and he took his eyes off just a tick too soon.
Was
and
he
it
open?
caused the incompletion. Well, you or I were open if we would have been in that spot, so he was definitely open.
There was nobody within 25, 30 yards. I mean,
if you're the West, you have to watch out for maybe a middle screen right here. You don't want to you want to get to the quarterback, but you got to be careful. Gershner in motion. They're going to throw it under a little bit of pressure. Pass. Intercepted.
Yeah, number 5.
Robles.
Yeah.
Jonathan Robles stole one away, and it's going to be first down and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Aiden Gershner was intercepted on the play by the West number 9, Johnny Robles. The interception.
Boy, they needed that one.
Yes, they did.
29-yard line.
The ball first and 10 at the 29 with 2:50 to go here in the first half.
And Johnny Robles, he had 33 tackles and 1 interception this year's. Got at another one.
Well, he broke on that ball so well.
Yes, he did.
To pull off the pick. Pitch to Blanca. Looking for a block. Gets to the edge. Lowers his shoulder.
It's out of bounds.
And fumbled the football out of bounds. Boy, that ball just barely got on the line.
Whoa.
Barely.
I'd hate to count how many times they put the pigskin on the turf.
Well, and I have a feeling that might be addressed at halftime.
You think?
I mean, they're giving the East too many potential opportunities.
Yes,
and the
they
East
are.
has not really taken advantage of all the mistakes.
So far.
Second down and 8. There's a pitch to Javon Pruitt. The Victoria product stood up and brought down.
I think his momentum might have got him a little past the line of scrimmage, though.
Jacob Clipp on the tackle.
Imagine
Gain of
that.
a couple on the play. It's third down and 6.
At the West 33-yard line. Third down and 7.
Clock winding, 2:10 to go. First half. Here comes that carnival formation.
Yes, it is. You got Robles out here on the left.
McCarty to pass it. Pump fake. Rolls to the right. Has a man open down the field.
Oh.
Too much. Emilio Perez, the intended receiver, and Colton McCarty used that pump fake to perfection, but just a little bit too much air.
They could have used that one, couldn't they?
That's a solid yes.
Incompletion brings up a fourth down and 7 for the West.
And punt formation.
yard line.
Jesse Baxter will punt it away for the West.
You got Colton McCarty out here, though, don't you? Yeah.
Yep. Barrientos with the snap. It's a low one. Baxter gets it and gets it away, and it is a ball that is rolling,
Good roll.
rolling, and
Rolling,
down at the
rolling,
13. So Baxter took a low snap and a little bit of pressure and was able to get it away.
Jeremy, it's a good thing to mow the grass because I was told that it's only 2 inches high today for this game. Otherwise, if it's normal turf high, that ball would not have rolled as far as it did.
No. Well, the defense is going to be called on again for the West. 1st and 10, 13-yard line. Juneman, pass out in the flat. Gerstner with the catch. And Robles with the catch inbounds. And a gain of 5 on the play.
Bailey on a reception. He had 12 catches for 54 yards this year for Lebo. And 1 touchdown. Carried the ball 1 time for 3 yards. So he's mostly been a receiver for Coach Brian Hadley from the Lebo Wolves.
1 minute to play here in the first half. 2nd down for the East. Coming near side, Colin Juneman is hit and out of bounds. Robles there, depending on the spot. I believe he's just shy of the first down. So pick up.
He's got Sternad in there
about
too,
5
number
on
4.
the play.
Trey Sternad, 6'2", 200-pounder from Caldwell. Kind of playing middle linebacker. Made sure Colin didn't go any further than he did.
And a timeout on the field. I believe it's taken by the West. We'll keep it right here with 41 seconds to play in the first half, and a first half that has been dominated by the East All-Stars with a 14-0 lead, and that all came in the first 6 minutes of the football game.
That's true.
So the last nearly 18 minutes of football hasn't seen any scores.
And the East has had plenty of opportunities since then on some of the miscues, but they haven't capitalized.
So now 3rd down and 1 for the East All-Stars. So if you're the East, Larry, do you go with the more sure thing and run it here, or do you go play action and try and air it out?
I'd run a run-pass option, I think. You got 3rd down. If it's incomplete, you still got 4th down and run it and probably make the 1st down. I think they can stop the West. I believe that's their mindset.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So they might gamble here, like air it out, 3rd and run-pass option, try to fake him, keep the linebackers tight, and then skip that. Probably get Mitchell Busing down that left side again.
He's been open a couple times.
Yeah, one time they caught it, and one time he overthrew him.
Now he's lined up here on the right side. The 2 Hanover products in the backfield. Juneman will go up underneath center, and we're going to have an offsides.
You got that hard count. Again, mental mistakes.
So 5-yard penalty, but it results in a 1st down for the East. And coaches will tell you quite often, watch the ball, watch the ball, watch the ball, especially if you're right over the ball.
That's true.
So 1st down and 10. Back to pass. Under some pressure. And a sack. Oh, what a job by Clayton Schreiber, but we have a flag on the play. We might have a face mask.
At the end of the play, making the tackle for the West was number 17, Clayton Schreiber.
We'll see what the call is.
Yeah, he got up around a horse collar, did he?
It's a personal foul, face mask.
Yeah, I thought he might have. Too bad for Clayton Schreiber. He had 59 tackles, 1 interception, a fumble recovery for the Stafford team. 6'3", 210-pounder linebacker.
Oh, it's going the other way. It's going against the offense.
The running back.
So, I stand corrected.
That's the first mistake you've made this year in 21, isn't it?
Yeah.
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 We'll leave it there.
Don't ask that question to my wife, though.
Okay. No,
if
we
you
won't.
want, let's keep that on the DL.
Ditto.
Okay. See if they can take that off this broadcast in post-production.
They will.
So first down and a mile.
Les and Matthews, they're geniuses.
Back to pass Juneman. Pressured. Heaves it up the field. That is a duck, and it is incomplete. Well, Pruitt had his hand on it, and then having a shot at the football was Busing, and also Jerome Ferguson from Lebo was in the neighborhood.
I'm just guessing that the sun had a lot to do with that one because it's so high up arched. They're looking right back in the sun.
Incompletion brings up second down and 14 for the East at their own 14-yard line.
So second and 24 from the 14 with 4 seconds to play.
Yeah, so brings Gavin Cornelson in, brought the play in this time.
If I was the West, I would back up unless they're just going to take a knee. They will take a knee, and that is the final play of the first half. After 1 half of play, your score, the East All-Stars 14, the West All-Stars nothing. We're back with more from Trojan Field in Beloit after this on Smoky Hills PBS.
Production of the 8-man All-Star Game is made possible by Republic County Hospital, serving north central Kansas and south central Nebraska. Cheyenne County Hospital, Clinics, and County Health Department, serving northwest Kansas. Bar 6 Manufacturing Incorporated, Protection, Kansas. Leitner Buildings in Hayes and Atwood. Active Balance Chiropractic and Acupuncture Clinic in Atwood, Bird City, and Goodland. M&M Seeds, channel seedsmanship at work, serving the Glen Elder area.
Programming on Smoky Hills PBS is made possible in part by an underwriting grant from Nextech, providing the area with top-notch broadband, business, technology, and advertising solutions. Nextech proudly supports public broadcasting and all of its ventures, impacting the economic growth of rural communities.
Scholar Company, located in Downs, Kansas, 709 Commercial. American Implement, Wheeler, Kansas. Indebted to the past, committed to the future.
And welcome back to Trojan Field in Beloit. We are at halftime. The Division II East All-Stars with a 14-0 lead over the West. It's now time to take a look at your halftime stats, brought to you exclusively by Cunningham Telephone and Cable, serving north central Kansas. Looking first at the East All-Stars, like we mentioned, 14 points on the board, 30 yards in penalties, 3 first downs, 116 passing yards, a vast majority of those on 2 touchdown plays of 48 and 59 yards. They have 30 yards on the ground for 146 total yards. For the West All-Stars, they have no points on the board, 20 yards in penalties. They have 8 first downs, 30 yards passing, 84 yards rushing, have controlled the majority of the clock, 114 yards of total offense, but the turnover has been really big for them. They've put the ball on the ground several times, have lost a fumble deep in the East Territory. And, boy, it's been an issue. in the first half. But our score at halftime, the Division II East All-Stars 14, the Division II West All-Stars nothing. Our halftime stats brought to you exclusively by Cunningham Telephone and Cable, serving North Central Kansas. When we come back, we'll have your second half kickoff of the 8-man Division II All-Star game on Smoky Hills PBS.
Production of the 8-man All-Star Game is made possible by Simpson Farm Enterprises of Hayes, Ransom, Great Bend, and Beloit. Leitner Buildings in Hayes and Atwood. Miller Welding, Incorporated, serving the Downs, Kansas area. Republic County Hospital, serving North Central Kansas and South Central Nebraska. Cheyenne County Hospital, Clinics, and County Health Department, serving Northwest Kansas. At Next Tech Wireless, we're proud to invest in Kansas communities. We have nearly 50 locations across the state to support your wireless needs. We're friends, we're neighbors, we are Kansas. M&M Seeds, channel seedsmanship at work, serving the Glen Elder area. Kippa's Insurance Agency, protecting clients since 1988. Our priority is to help protect yours.
Welcome back to Trojan Field in Beloit on Smoky Hills PBS. Jeremy McGuire and analyst Larry Jantz. The Kansas 8-man Division II All-Star game. The East All-Stars with a 14-0 lead. A couple of big plays in the first 6 minutes of the ball game, Larry, and that's been all the scoring. The West has really dominated time of possession, but miscues have cost them.
Yeah, you got to know that Charlie Austin and Gene Glenn addressed that issue at halftime. Probably, you got to hold on to football. You know, you can't afford to make turnovers and win. But this down to the 5-yard line, and fumbled it, and about ready. You thought they was going to go in and score, but then mental mistakes, dropped the football on the old turf, and East dominated that. Just special, quick plays is the difference in the game.
So you look at the West, they have been able to drive the ball into East territory with the run game. The pass has been, they've had 30 yards passing in the first half. The run game has been their bread and butter so far. The East has been the opposite. Pass game has been their bread and butter. The run game has just kind of been a supplement to what they're doing. So do you expect both teams to continue that game plan here in the second half?
Yeah, I do. It's just a matter, can the West hold on to the football? I mean, they'd been all right if they didn't have all the just turnovers and mistakes. But I think that Carnival, you're going to see they might put the ball more in the air. You know, Colton McCarty, he can zing the ball. I think get that little speedy Perez from South Barber, get him open.
And Perez is back deep, standing at the goal line to receive the second half kickoff. Shadron Blanca back there from St. Francis. Ethan Benny, Pike Valley will tee it up. We are set and ready to go for the second half here on Smoky Hills PBS. The high end over ender, and it is returnable. Perez hit, breaks free.
He's got some space.
He has some space. He gets a block from Blanca, still on his feet. Boy, a nice job over there on the far side by Braden Perez of St. John's Catholic, as he kept his outside contained and really did not allow Perez to get to the edge.
Yeah, Braden Perez did a good job on that tackle because there's a lot of space for a while. Braden Perez had 141 tackles, 1 interception, 4 fumble recoveries this year, number 11, 5'9", 160-pounder.
First down and 10 for the West. It looks like Cooper Wolf in at quarterback. Handoff to Blanca. Hit and is able to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Kind of broke 2 tackles, though, didn't he?
Cale McQueen was also in on that play. A gain of a yard on the play.
Cale McQueen, 5'10", 170-pounder from Wetmore, had 70 tackles this year, 1 interception, playing D-back for the East All-Stars today. That's 2nd and 10.
At the concession stand. So if you are missing a phone, it might be here.
2nd down, a long 9. There's Blanca up the middle, had a little seam there, lowers his shoulder and gets across the 30 just barely. And he's going to pick up about 6 on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down and 4.
That was a great second effort, though, by him, but brought down by 24, George Volley from Axtell and Cale McQueen from Wetmore again. So it brings up, 3rd and 4.
3rd down and 4. That is the case.
What I've received is receiving a call from Aaron.
There's the give. Right side, Blanca tries to get back to the line of scrimmage, and he will not get there. Boy, Shatter and Blanca was just strung out all the way to the edge and could not get upfield, and it's going to bring up 4th down, a loss of a couple on the play, 4th and 6.
And brings up that one of the number 1 offensive key for Charlie Austin was sustained blocks. That didn't happen.
So 4th and 6 and a punting situation for the West. It's a high end-over-ender. It is short, and it's fumbled on the ground. Colin Juneman called for the fair catch and came running up on it and could not handle it, and it's recovered by the West.
Emilio Perez recovered that ball.
So Emilio Perez on the recovery, and that is the 2nd turnover of the ball game against the East. And a rare mistake from Colin Juneman.
That might be the first error he's made in 1, 2, 3, 4 years.
Cooper Wolf at quarterback. Pruitt, he has some running room. Javon Pruitt near the 1st down, and they're going to mark him just short, a gain of 9 on the play.
Javon Pruitt, it's the speedster from Victoria Knights, Doug Oberle's kid. 88 carries, 683 yards, 13 touchdowns for the Victoria Knights this year. Number 30 today, Javon Pruitt.
Pruitt went over the right side, right over Tyler Holmes and Trey Barrientes. 2nd down, 1 yard. There's the pitch. Pruitt going to have enough for a 1st down as he is pushed out of bounds at the 16-yard line, a gain of 3 on the play.
Should be moved to the sticks, Zebras. Oh, not much. Mistaken. Oh,
there they move it.
I'm going to say.
It took a while,
I
but
did.
they finally moved the chains.
I'm sorry. I got on too quick, didn't I?
1st and 10, Pruitt again. Left side, holding on to that football. Man, they are digging at it right there. Braden Perez on the tackle. Jacob Clipp there as well. And a little help from Lance Kaiser.
Yeah.
Pick up a 3
11.
on the play for Pruitt.
Yeah, Braden Perez, 141 tackles this year, 1 interception, 4 fumble recoveries from St. John's Catholic, 5'9", 160-pound tender. He and his twin brother Blake are playing this game.
The Perez's, a group of 3 brothers that have played in the game. Trey Barrientes, his brother Tyler played in 19, and his brother Paul played in 2013.
Pretty good honor.
Yes, sir. Blanca hit. Oh, he got finished. He got finished in a big way.
Wasn't Clip, was it? Was it Kaiser?
It looked like Voley and Murphy in there. So a pickup of a couple on the play. When Blanca running kind of straight up, and you will get lit up if you run in there.
Yes, you will.
3rd and 6. McCarty in some trouble, going to throw it, and he is going to be brought down by Clip, but that is going to be a horse collar tackle.
Yes.
The official is, they're talking about it. Eric Detweiler was saying he had a hold of his sleeve, not a hold of the back of his,
Good luck,
inside
Eric.
the back of his jersey. There is quite a conversation going on right now, though. They're going to wave it off. And I think that was the right call. I did not think it was a horse collar tackle. But again, what was 3rd and 6 has now turned into 4th and 12, a loss of 6 on the play.
And that's unusual. They had Colton up underneath the center that time. Didn't have him back in the pistol to Wildcat. And that just gave him extra more momentum for the defense to come to the line because they're not holding the blocks. They're not sustaining.
Well, they got 4th down and a long 12 or a short 13. Just depends on how you want to talk about it.
And you got to have up underneath center again. Running carnival.
Robles in motion. And going to delay a game.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was getting close. And when that play, you can't just go up the line and once the back judge starts counting you down, if you got motion, it's 2 sets of motion. You got to step back and then motion across, and he couldn't get the play off.
And the play started the clock when the guy waved the flag off, and they took too long for the defense to get started, I think.
Motion near side, Perez. McCarty's going to throw. Going to roll to his right. Looking for some help. Throws it, and Weinhold was the intended receiver. Incomplete. It was nowhere close to a first down.
Turnover and downs.
So the East defense steps up once again. The 1st and 10 for the East offense. The West once again knocking on the door, but the East defense wasn't going to answer. 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line. Juneman fumbles the snap, picks it back up, and he will be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Perez on the tackle. He's going to lose a yard on the play. It'll bring up 2nd and 11.
Yeah, Perez and Clayton Schreiber was there to wrap him up. Lost half a yard, huh?
For the West was number 69, Jesse Baxter. Lost back to the 23-yard line, 2nd down and 11.
Handoff. No, it's a keeper. I believe who was that took that snap? That would have been Gavin Cornelison from Frankfurt, and he's going to lose 4 yards. It's going to bring up 3rd down. 3rd down and 15.
Yeah, Trevor had a nice tackle then. Wrapped him up. 161 tackles for the year, 1 fumble recovery. Trevor Zabernecki from Wheatland, Grinnell.
So 3rd down and long for the East. Twins to the near side. Juneman under some pressure. It's intercepted! Intercepted! Schreiber! Touchdown! Clayton Schreiber on the pick. A 17-yard return for the score, and maybe that is what's going to flip the switch for the West.
Do you think that might be what the doctor ordered up? It darn sure is what Gene Glenn, the defensive coordinator for the West All-Stars, wanted.
Well, and you look at that was very similar to the play they ran in the first half that went 59 yards for a touchdown. But Schreiber this time was waiting.
Well, and also there was no pump delay. He didn't get far enough deep in the coverage. It was a shorter pass. So, anyway, what you got to go for 2 points?
So the defense gets some points on the board. Motion, McCarty's going to keep it, and he will walk in for the 2-point conversion. So with 5:52 to go here in the third quarter, the defense gets it going for the West All-Stars, and it's 14-8, and now
we got a ball game.
The East has a chance to answer.
But the West certainly needed that. Now we got a ball game, Jeremy, with 5:52 to go.
Here in the third quarter, that was their first score since the 6:05 mark of the first quarter. So it's been a while.
Yes, it has.
Yeah, we've had some All-Star games here in the past where the scoreboard was like a slot machine, just ding, 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 ding,
just
ding.
lighting up all
today.
the time, wasn't it?
Not today, but Clayton Schreiber from Stafford, 6'3", 210-pounder, had one interception and a fumble recovery in his season this year, or this past season, and he gets one here in the All-Star game that he'll never forget.
That's right. It might be a 60-yarder pick six when he gets up there and got grandkids, though. I bet you might be a little.
He doesn't.
Think he might stretch it out a little bit.
He doesn't tell stories like Larry Jans,
won't.
so he's going to keep it straight and narrow.
Wait. He get older, he might.
Low line drive kick. Colin Juneman leans forward.
Because you know what they say about them guys fishing trips. They fish keep getting bigger. Huh?
That's true.
No, it ain't.
That's true. The fish do get bigger.
Well, that's true. But the fishing stories it's told. I can remember my grandpa telling me he got 13 ducks one time with one shot. That's illegal.
Well, the ducks weren't smart enough to.
He snuck up on him and caught him right on a row by a little pond.
So 1st down and 10 for the first time. The East All-Stars facing a little adversity after the pick six. Gershner in motion. He's going to get it to the near side.
He got the edge made, though.
Got to the edge, and he's going to pick up a couple. Maybe.
Yeah, Jesse Baxter got it run out. Jesse's from the St. Francis Indians, had 74 tackles, one fumble recovery this year. 6'5", 215-pounder. Did a great job there and stretching out the play.
Gain of 1 on the play.
You know, Jesse's playing defensive tackle today. Got a 4-man front right now.
And trying him in that speed from the East All-Stars. Gershner in motion again. Juneman looking to throw it. It's tipped and caught. Well, what a heck of a play. That was made right there by Jerome Ferguson from Lebo.
Yeah.
He's going to pick up 8. It'll bring up 3rd down and 1.
Going to have a measurement.
He's short by solid length of the football, in my opinion. Length of the football. I was incorrect. It is a 1st down. That's why I don't measure it from up here.
That's right.
Gain of 9 on the play.
Just enough yardage picked up on the reception. East has the ball.
The good old tip drill that everybody used to run, you know.
But Juneman was dangerously close to getting intercepted for the 2nd straight possession.
And that seldom ever happens with the old Hanover Wildcat.
He only threw 2 interceptions all season long.
Yeah.
That's impressive. By throwing for almost 1,300 yards, 23 touchdowns. 1st down and 10. Motion. Out in the flat, Colin makes the catch, and he's hit and pushed out of bounds. Nice sportsmanship by Shadron Blanca to hold him up instead of throwing him down. And it's going to be a pickup of 8 yards on the play.
Yeah. Jacobs passed 76 attempts. It was 76 out of 104 attempts this year for 1,284 yards, 23 touchdowns, like you said, 2 INTs. And Colin Gentleman caught that one. He's had 38 receptions, 478 yards, and 8 touchdowns. So the Gentlemans connect to each other.
4:51 to go here in the third quarter. 14-8. East All-Stars with the ball and a 6-point lead. Gentleman to throw again. Going to air it down the field. Has a man out there, and it is incomplete. And we have a flag on the play. Abusing the intended receiver. Cooper Wolf on the
Cooper
coverage.
Wolf's feet.
So that'll be 15 yards and a first down.
Is defensive pass interference against the rest.
That's 15.
So first down and 10, the ball at the 21-yard line.
15-yard penalty assessed for defensive pass interference.
Tough for Cooper Wolf on that coverage. That ball
Yes,
was in the air for so long.
First and 10 for the East.
So the East, after giving up their first score, back out there again, driving the ball down the field. Judeman, quick throw out in the flat, catch is made, and a little forward momentum, a gain of about 3 on the play for Gerstner.
Number 7, Mitchell Busing.
Yeah, Schreiber's one that made the tackle finally after he broke the first tackle. But it's a good job there to hold him down to 2-yard gain.
Gain of a couple yards on the play, second down and 8.
And Clayton made 59 tackles, 1 interception, 1 fumble recovery from Stafford, 6'3", 210. Playing for the West All-Stars today.
A lot of short passes to the edge right now.
Mm-hmm.
I would have a feeling they're setting one up for a out and up. Pass out in the flat, and man, what a tackle. But a flag is going to be called.
For Robles?
Boy, and the coaching staff over there, that looked like he wrapped him around. I did not see a face mask on that play. The officials are going to talk about it again. They've gotten together. It had that appearance from the backside, but I don't think it was. They're going to call a 5-yard face mask.
Indication a face mask penalty against the West.
So a 5-yard.
Half the distance penalty marked off.
5-yard face mask that time against.
Incidental. This is an incidental one.
Yep. So they're having trouble spotting the football.
Yeah. It's just counting 5 yards, isn't it?
Second down and 4. Gerstner in motion. It is up the middle, Cornelison on the carry. And he's going to pick up 5 on the play and a first down.
Yeah, they like to run the speedo, pass. They've done a lot of dives and runs, and, of course, the East also has that run-pass option, the RPO. That's their 3 favorite plays off the sets. Dominate the line of scrimmage is their offensive key. Read the defense and execute the play. Done a pretty good job of it so far.
3:30 and counting. Cornelison to take the snap. Going to hand it off up the middle. Oh my goodness. Cooper Weinhold just introduced himself rather rudely to the backfield.
Yeah. My name is Cooper Weinhold from the Wilson Dragon Country. 6'2", 215.
Ball at the 13-yard
made 75 tackles this year and 6 fumble recoveries.
Lots of 4 on that play.
He met him in the backfield when he went to make a handoff, didn't he, Jeremy?
He certainly did.
Does that go down for 2 tackles?
Well, it should.
Well, okay.
And we've got a timeout on the field, and we'll take it with you. 2:47 to go. Third quarter, 14-8, East on top. We're back after this on Smoky Hills PBS.
Production of the 8-man All-Star Game is made possible by Leitner Buildings in Hayes and Atwood, Thunderbird Insurance, Jeff Bynes, independent insurance agent, Bird City, Kansas. Crustbuster Speed Kick, Incorporated in Spearville and Dodge City, Kansas. Cheyenne County Hospital, Clinics, and County Health Department, serving Northwest Kansas. Miller Welding, Incorporated, serving the Downs, Kansas area. Kippa's Insurance Agency, protecting clients since 1988. Our priority is to help protect yours. American Implement, Wheeler, Kansas. Indebted to the past, committed to the future. Scholar Company, located in Downs, Kansas, 709 Commercial.
Programming on Smoky Hills PBS is made possible in part by an underwriting grant from Nextech, providing the area with top-notch broadband, business, technology, and advertising solutions. Nextech proudly supports public broadcasting and all of its ventures, impacting the economic growth of rural communities.
Welcome back to Trojan Field in Beloit. Jeremy McGuire and Larry Jantz. On Smoky Hills PBS, the Kansas 8-man Division II All-Star Game, the East All-Stars with a 14-8 lead with the football, 2nd down and 13. 2:47 to go here in the third quarter. East trying to put a score in the end zone for the first time since midway through the first quarter.
And the brain trust out there, Brian Hadley, Colby Hamill, Colton Barrett, and Eric Detweiler. They dreamed up a play here.
2nd down. Motion, Cornelison. Back to pass. Juneman, he's chased. He's got some room, and he is into the end zone for the touchdown.
Yep.
Jacob Juneman from 13 yards out. And the East is back on the scoreboard. It's 20-8.
That took 8 seconds for that to happen.
Yeah, once he got outside of the pocket, he realized that he had all kinds of room to run. And they will try for the 2-point conversion. Juneman to run again, and he's in. Exercised a little patience and got it into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. So with 2:39 to go in the third quarter, your score is 22-8.
Just so you know, Jacob Juneman, he got 8th in the triple jump this year at state track meet, and he got 4th in the 800. He can run.
He's an athlete. He is an athlete. Got a couple teammates here with him.
Yes.
Colin Juneman, Jacob Clipp. His head coach is here today watching, Matt Hoyer. So
and Colin, Jeremy, got 2nd in the long jump and got 7th in the 200 meters at state. And Clip run the hurdles. He got 4th in the 300-meter hurdles. So they're all good track athletes as well as football and basketball.
So here comes the kick. Ethan Biddy will tee it up. Emilio Perez, Chadron Blanca standing at the goal line to receive the kick. Well, defense has scored a touchdown. Can the special teams get one?
Well, we're going to find out.
Not this time. Deep into the end zone, and that is an automatic touchback. So 1st and 10 from the 15 as the West All-Stars will take over. The East defense has been spectacular today.
Yes, it has.
They haven't allowed a big play, and they have really forced some fumbles. They forced some mistakes. The defensive line has really controlled it so far.
And they've mostly been playing a 3-2 main defense. They do a 2-4 occasionally, but they haven't had to do that. They've just been blitzing the linebackers or making good reads. They're in the 3-2 set right now as far as the East goal team.
And a late entry onto the field, Cooper Wolf. Blanca motion. They're going to be an inside handoff to Pruitt. He's going to try to get to the edge, and he is going to be brought down. In on the tackle, Wyatt Eberly from Lakeside.
Yes.
A gain of 4 on the play, 2nd and 6.
Wyatt Eberly had 139 tackles this year, 1 fumble recovery, 6'1", 180-pounder from Lakeside. Wyatt Eberly.
Robles split to the near side. He has been a big part of the offense today. Blanca going to get the pitch, and he is not going to have anywhere to go. He was absolutely shut down over there on the far side. Connor Murphy in on the tackle, and a loss of 3 on the play. So they had that pitch, and as soon as Blanca got the pitch, he had Murphy in his face.
Oh, yeah, they just all over it. That comes from that film study off the old huddle and everything this year. Because you haven't got that much time to understand it here in 7 practices in a week's time for this All-Star game.
3rd down and 9. Robles will motion. McCarty
Let's go back to
with some room, throws it up the field, has Robles, makes the catch, gets hit, and he's got a 1st down. In on the tackle was Blake Perez, but boy, Robles took a hit, knew it was coming.
Yep.
And picked up 22 yards on the play and a 1st down.
Yeah, Blake Perez, 145 tackles this year, 2 interceptions, 5'9", 160-pounder from St. John's Catholic.
Just down the street, literally. Robles on the receiving end, showing his ability. Now Pruitt will motion. McCarty under pressure and threw it up the field, and that's going to be
what happened?
Grounding, because the nearest man was Trey Barrientes, and he is not a legal.
So Andrew Bailey got qualified for that sack from Lebo. 37 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, and 2 sacks for good old Brian Hadley, head coach of the Lebo Wolves and assistant coach today. Colby Hamill's another assistant coach for Eric Detwater from Rock Hills Grizzlies. And the Lebo Wolves and the Hartford Jaguars. Colton Barrett's their head coach.
3rd down and 15 for the West. 1:29 to go in the 3rd. McCarty to throw. Rolling out to the right, and he is going to be buried, but it looked like a flag came in.
Yeah, there's Laundry. Laundry on the turf.
We'll see what might have a face mask.
Making the tackle for the East was number 3, Connor Murphy, and number 52, Lance
We got a personal foul face mask, so that'll be 15 yards from the line of scrimmage. Be very close to a first down because no longer is that an automatic first down. So if it's more than 15 yards, it wouldn't be a first.
Good thing this game is played here in 2021 and not 1956. They didn't have face masks back then.
So was it like a nose pull or?
Well, they probably lost a lot of teeth.
teeth?
I got a feeling they lost a lot of teeth. That's what six-man football my coach did, run that kind of stuff. No, they had helmets on.
Third down, McCarty to throw out in the flat. Catches made by Perez, makes a move, and he'll have a first down at the 30-yard line.
It was a nice move. Camilo Perez, 5'10", 165-pounder from South Barber.
He's been impressive today.
Yeah, yes. Had a good game.
He's tough.
Quick,
and
shifty.
And quick. I've never been accused of being quick and shifty. Tough?
I don't think so.
Occasionally. Quick and shifty, no.
Some days are over, if you even had them.
I had never had them. First and 10. Out in the flat. Catches made by Wolf. Makes a man miss inside the 20, down near the 11. Looks like he might have stepped out at about the 13 as the beanbag came down.
That's a good catch by old Cooper Wolf. From Colton McCarty to Cooper Wolf.
Gain of 16 on that play.
Colton in six-man football for the Cheyenne Cougars had 23 out of 45 for 638 yards this year and 17 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Now the West is driving down. They're going to throw out in
open.
the flat. Another catch is made by Perez. He goes right into the teeth of that defense and is brought down at about the 9-yard line. A pickup of 4 on the play.
And Colton McCarty always carried the ball 121 times this year for the Cheyenne Cougars for 1,833 yards and 34 touchdowns. Ended up with 51 touchdowns for the whole year. Quite a young man.
Second down and 6. McCarty going to throw it again right to the edge. Catch is made by Wolf. Dive. Did he get it? I'm going to say just short. Just short. He's going to pick up 8 yards, and that is going to be the final play of the third quarter. A couple touchdowns by both teams in the third quarter. We go to the fourth. Your score, the Division II East All-Stars 22. The Division II West All-Stars 8. We're back after this on Smoky Hills PBS.
Production of the 8-Man All-Star Game is made possible by Simpson Farm Enterprises of Hayes, Ransom, Great Bend, and Beloit. Bar 6 Manufacturing Incorporated, Protection, Kansas. Crustbuster Speed King, Incorporated in Spearville and Dodge City, Kansas. Republic County Hospital, serving north central Kansas and south central Nebraska. Active Balance Chiropractic and Acupuncture Clinic in Atwood, Bird City, and Goodland. Thunderbird Insurance, Jeff Bynes, Independent Insurance Agent, Bird City, Kansas. M&M Seeds, Channel Seedsmanship at Work, serving the Glen Elder area. Scholar Company, located in Downs, Kansas, 709 Commercial. At Next Tech Wireless, we're proud to invest in Kansas communities. We have nearly 50 locations across the state to support your wireless needs. We're friends, we're neighbors, we are Kansas.
Programming on Smoky Hills PBS is made possible in part by an underwriting grant from Nextech, providing the area with top-notch broadband, business, technology, and advertising solutions. Nextech proudly supports public broadcasting and all of its ventures, impacting the economic growth of rural communities.
And welcome back to Trojan Field in Beloit on Smoky Hills PBS to the fourth quarter for the Kansas 8-man Division II All-Star game. The East All-Stars with a 22-8 lead as we start the fourth quarter. The West with the ball inside the one, and first and goal, Jeremy McGuire and Larry Jantz. Larry, I would expect this ball to be a
Colton
snap to Colton
McCarty,
McCarty
following Holmes.
Following right in.
He's going to go between Tyler Holmes and Trey, I think.
And here we go. McCarty gets the snap, goes left, he's in for the touchdown. Colton McCarty from 1 yard out with 11:58 to go in the ball game. That's the first offensive score by the West, and it's 22-14.
Now the all-important extra point. That's going to be pretty crucial right here.
It's still a one-score game, but you get this in, and then if you get a stop, a touchdown ties it, and then the 2 points will give you the lead.
There you go. That's good math, Jeremy. That's good math.
Hey, Roger Barta taught me well at Smith Center.
Well, they knew he was a good math teacher.
McCarty throws it. Blanca, 2-point conversion is good.
Yeah.
With 11:58 to go, it's a 6-point ball game. And again, these two teams answering each other here in the second half. And what a fun game it has been, but a really nice drive right there by the West.
Sustained drive, yes.
It was sustained. It was helped out on that face mask penalty that made, instead of being fourth down and long, it ended up being third down and about 6.
Yes, sir. So now we'll find out what Eric Detwater, Colton Barrett, Colby Hamill, Brian Hadley have for the East All-Stars. How are they going to retaliate? Are they going to run pass option? Remember, some of their things they like to dominate the line of scrimmage, read the defense, execute plays out of the spread, the Wildcat, or the Twins. Some of the favorite plays they like is spread, so speedo, pass. They like to dive and run.
Did you say speedo?
Speedo, that's what they call them. Speedo. That's one of his favorite plays, called a speedo.
Well.
And then run pass option. Yes, sirree.
I don't think anybody needs to be wearing a Speedo, but
that's Eric Detwater. That ain't me.
Well, I know, but I don't think Eric Detwater needs to be wearing a Speedo.
He don't need a Speedo either, does he?
There's the kick by Barrientos, and that will carry into the end zone for a touchback. So Barrientos with the kick, and it'll be 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line for the East All-Stars. The connection has been Jacob Juneman and Mitchell Busing. So 1st down and 10. We'll see where those gentlemen line up. The West fans getting into it in a sunny Trojan Field, a beautiful June afternoon for high school football.
They're playing the 4-diamond right now, the 4-diamond defense. Not the 3-5.
There's the option left side. Trouble. Oh, it could have been even worse. The play over there, Zarbanicki was there. Schreiber was there. Jesse Baxter was there.
Yep.
And looked like Cooper Weinhold as well. It was only a loss of 2. It could have been worse, but a nice job.
Zarbanicki got so doggone excited you thought he had for a 15-yard loss. Did you see old Trevor?
He was a little excited.
He was jumping in the backfield up and down. Without a trampoline, too, Jeremy. He didn't have no trampoline.
They'll bring up 2nd down, 12 yards to go.
Of course, he's only 6'2", 230 pounds, Trevor. What are they doing now?
The Wildcat products in the backfield. Juneman to throw. Heaves it down the field. It is knocked away. Cooper Wolf.
Not this time.
And then the pressure, Mr. Zarbanicki again. And Jacob Juneman took a shot as he released that football. So 3rd and 12, and the West defense has come to life.
And of course, we know that name from up around Hanover, Bill, Zarbaneckis. And he said those relatives are from up there. He's got relatives up there.
Well, that
a name like that, you'd have to be, wouldn't you?
I don't think so. There's not a lot of them around.
No.
3rd down, 12. Cornelison. There's a handoff to Colin Juneman, and he is going to make a few yards, but not
long.
Very many. Cooper Wolf on the tackle. A gain of 4 on the play. It's 4th down and 8.
Yeah, and Colin, he couldn't get loose today. About a week ago in the state track meet, he got 2nd in the long jump and 7th in the 200. So he can get, he's got wheels, he can be open.
Now a punt situation. Jacob Cliff will kick it away.
Boy, did he have one earlier.
Yeah.
Can he have cork one like that again?
Well, Perez is going all the way back inside his own 20. Snap is back. Kick is away. It's a high end-over-ender. It's going to hit and roll. And we'll be down at the 23-yard line. Still a pretty good punt.
Counting the roll.
40 yards with the roll. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the West. Larry, they get the touchdown, they get the 3 and out, and they put the offense right back out on the field.
They've done their job. That speech about halftime must have done something good by either Gene Glenn or Charlie Austin, or both of them.
A combination of them.
Well, I think so.
Combination of Mike Jenner probably lighting into him, Rigo
and old Rigo Hahn.
Yeah.
He's the old old Wildcat, old Rigo Hahn.
1st down and 10. McCarty to throw. Out in the flat. Catch is made by Perez. Wraps up the ball and gets hit and dropped.
He broke 2 tackles.
Jacob Clipp finally finished him off.
Imagine that.
Yeah. After a gain of almost 5 on the play.
Gain to the 28-yard line. 2nd down and 6.
And the play's been brought in from the sideline by Charlie Austin. And we're going to find out what the West All-Stars got up their sleeve this time.
Well, they have been hitting those short out patterns over and over, and it's been there.
Take what the defense gives you.
Yep.
Yeah.
2nd down, McCarty looking. Gonna throw it over the middle. Has a man. Blocker has it. Inside the 20, the 5.
He's in.
He fumbled it.
But he went across. He went
it's
first.
It's a touchdown.
He
called it
first.
A touchdown. He broke the plane and the score. And that one will rip it off from 54 yards and the score from Colton McCarty, the first big play of the game for the West. They have come to life here in this second half.
That's why you play 4 quarters, isn't it, Jeremy?
Last time I checked, yes.
That's right.
Boy, McCarty just laid that up there. Now the 2-point conversion for the lead. McCarty to throw again over the middle, and it's incomplete, intercepted, and the conversion is no good. So with 9:06 to go in the ball game, we are all tied up at 22 points apiece. Wow.
That's going to be gut time now. How much fuel you got left in the tank? How much adrenaline? How about momentum swinging for the West team in the second half? Can the East answer, huh? We're going to find out.
Well, now the East, too, they really, even though they they had a 14-point lead. You really felt like they were in control in that first half because of the plays they made, even though it was 14-0. I mean, not insurmountable by any stretch. This second half, it's felt like the West has been in control most of the way.
Correct. I'd agree with you.
I'll tell you what, Eric Detweiler is having one of those come-to-Jesus meetings with his team right now.
I think so.
Over here on the near sideline.
He wrote a poem at that pep rally yesterday that he hopes don't come down to bite him, huh?
Well, I think that might have an effect at the beginning of the game. By now,
yeah,
that's over and forgotten about.
They might get reminded, though.
Well, it looks like Aiden Gershner from Frankfurt has some ice on the shoulder over here on the near side. That kick is returnable. Judeman goes up high to get it. Looking for some running room. Still has it, and he fumbled it out of bounds. Ryan Haas on the tackle.
Yeah.
And it's going to be first down and 10 from the 22-yard line. So jumping up to get it before it went into the end zone, they picked up 7 yards by doing
smart.
that.
Yes, they did. They're smart. That's a great job by House, though. Ryan House from Brewster had 70 tackles and 1 interception this year for Brewster Bulldogs. Or the Tri-Plains Brewster Titans.
First down, 10. Low snap. Judeman just falls on it. Schreiber was there to make sure he couldn't do anything with it if he did try to pick it up. And boy, the East kind of falling apart right now. A loss back to the 14, a loss of 8 on the play.
Their timing is off. Missed. That pass wasn't very good, though. I mean, the snap. But does a great job by Clayton Schreiber. Playing linebacker, 6'3", 210 from Stafford. Had 59 tackles, 1 interception this year.
And not making a dumb play by lowering his shoulder or anything into Juneman.
You're correct.
2nd and 18. Juneman under pressure, throws it in the flat. He has his teammate Colin Juneman up near a first down.
Where'd he go out of bounds?
Judging by where that marker
is. He's right at it.
He is right at it, and he's going to – and they are going to take a moment and maybe measure for this one. They are going to measure. Boy, it's right down in front of us, so it's tough to tell. With 8:10 to go here in the ball game.
Neither your mother or my mother was a good window maker.
No.
We can't see through the curtains.
We cannot.
Too many bodies in there. Huh?
And it is a first down, so it picked up 18 yards. Again, another little screen pass out to the left. Ball at the 32. They're 48 yards away from a score with 8:10 to go in the ball game. Cornelison in motion. There's another ball. Fumbled on the snap. That was a good snap. Juneman just took his eye off the ball. That one goes all the way back to the 21, so a loss of 11 on that play.
Yeah, the center's just not making the best of snap in the world, like you said that time.
That one was there, though.
Yeah.
That one was.
11 yards on the play makes it 2nd down and 21.
Officials having a discussion. Second down, 21 to go. Juneman.
Good snap.
Throws it out in the flat. Cornelison with the catch and pushed out of bounds. Jesse Baxter was over there. making the play from his defensive end position out to the 26-yard line, a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and 16.
Yeah, that's a great job by Jesse Baxter from St. Francis, a 6'5", 215 pounds, 74 tackles and 1 fumble recovery for the St. Francis Indians this year.
Jacob Juneman, 10 for 14 today unofficially, 158 yards and a couple of touchdowns. He has also thrown a couple of interceptions. 3rd down.
You got twins.
16. Juneman is the throw.
Spread.
Has a little pressure. We have a flag down, and it is caught. But it's going to be a hold. That one's coming back. Busing on the reception, but that one is coming back. Cooper Weinhold doing a little dance and telling everybody to come on back.
Bring it on back.
And a big one. 4 penalties, 55 yards. Man, I don't know what they're grilling downstairs, but it's coming through the window right now.
It's good, isn't it?
It smells pretty good. Had a pretty good breakfast this morning at NCK.
Yeah.
Tech.
Eric Burke got him started.
Yeah. Pretty good breakfast today.
I think Eric Burke was a fry cook this morning, wasn't he?
He could have been. I don't know. It could have been.
He was filling ice chest with ice when I saw him.
3rd down and a long ways to go. And a short time to get there. 7:07 to go. They need the 38 for a 1st down. Back to pass. There's a screen pass. They're ready for it. Juneman breaks a tackle, but will not break the 2nd tackle. Javon Pruitt hanging on for dear life.
Yes, he was.
And brought him down at the 24-yard line.
It's a good thing he made it. They might have made that 1st down. But anyway, Javon Pruitt, 5'7", 175-pounder for the Victoria Knights. 37 tackles, 2 interceptions in 7 games because he was hurt during the year for Coach Doug Oberly. Great young man. Played a great game today.
4th and 18. The ball at the 24-yard line. Clip with the snap. Gets the kick away. It's another good one. It's returnable. Perez has it. Coming to the near side at the 30. Says, I don't want to go out of bounds. And he gets pushed out. Cornelison in there on the tackle. Also Mitchell Busing there. So 1st down and 10. The ball at the 29-yard line with 6:06 to go in the 4th quarter. We are tied at 22.
But would you say Gavin Cornelison kind of gently helped him out of bounds on that play?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. Oh, really?
So here we go, 1st and 10.
Game's tied. 6 minutes on the line.
West looking for their first lead of the game. McCarty throws it down the middle for Pruitt and incomplete. And Blake Perez was out there as well defensively. And boy, McCarty got a touchdown on this very similar play last possession. Tried to go to the bank again.
Yeah. Blake said no doing this time. Blake Perez had 145 tackles this year, 2 interceptions. Not too bad for a St. John's Catholic. 5'9", 160 pounds. He's got some wheels. Got some speed.
He does.
He's right there with him. If that ball wasn't overthrown, he might have intercepted it. Or a good chance of it.
2nd and 10. McCarty to throw out in the flat. A little bit too strong for Robles and went through his hands and incomplete.
Yeah, 3rd down though. Robles did have 13 receptions, 177 yards, and 4 touchdowns for South Central. South Central Timberwolves. We used to be Coldwater Eagles. Now you take some Protection Panthers and throw in some Eagles, and you got Timberwolves. Huh.
Third down and 10. They need the 39 for the first. McCarty rolling to his left. Now sets up. Heaves it down the field for Perez. Off his hands and incomplete. Boy, a tough catch to make with Jacob Judeman there defensively.
That's a heck of a throw, though.
McCarty hung it out there for him, and it was just incomplete. Good job by Jacob Judeman to be there to at least cause a little bit of a distraction in the incompletion. So now it's a punting situation for the West.
Well, they're short of players, so somebody comes out there, 13.
Jude Stowe onto the field. Baxter gets the punt away. It's a high one. And it will take an incredible bounce for the West.
Wow. Third down to
Trey Barrientos will down it at the 4. And it's going to bring up first down and 10 from the 4-yard line with 5:40 to go. And something to think about from the last possession. 2 big missed snaps. So you have to wonder, you figure they're going to go up underneath center here.
Well, based on what you just said, you'd hope so. But they got to go 76 yards for a touchdown and a leading score because we got 5:40 to go and it's all knotted up. 22 all. That's a good number to have.
And you have to figure there's a timeout on the field for Water with 5:40 to go. 84 degrees right now in Beloit, and really a pretty nice day. But if you're strapped on with all that equipment, well, it can make it a little difficult.
Wind out of the east, a little warmer on the turf, huh? A little warmer on the turf?
I don't think on that turf.
Oh.
So first down and 10 at the 4-yard line. When you're pushed back this far, Larry, the mistakes are magnified if they happen. But you have to figure that they're going to put the ball in the hands of the playmakers. You don't need a bad
snap now.
No, you don't need a bad snap. You don't need a missed block. The West defense has been very aggressive coming into the backfield. We also have to be aware of that aggression and the potential for those screen passes. That's where the East squad has really made their hay today, has been with those little dump passes, screens off to the left and right. Andy Andrews will snap it. The Hartford product, 6'3", 290. Back to Juneman. He'll keep it. He's not going very far. Maybe a half a yard, not even that. No gain on the play. Weinhold is there. Schreiber is there.
Stopped right at the line of scrimmage by the West, number 15, Cooper Weinhold, and number 4, Trey Sternad. Second down and 10.
Right now they just got to play some sound defense, the West. Don't get too excited and forget what the heck your position, what you're supposed to do.
5 minutes to go. Second down and 10.
So they're playing the 4 diamond defense. East come out in the spread.
Twins to the far. There's a pitch in the backfield.
Oh,
that's trouble. It's a fumble. Who's on it? It's a touchdown.
Safety.
They call a safety or a touchdown?
Safety first.
Well, it is a touchdown.
I'll be darned.
Now we got to figure out who recovered that ball.
We got it.
So it's a fumble and a touchdown for the West. Trey Sternad in on the recovery for the West. And just like that, the West All-Stars with their first lead of the game with 4:45 to go.
Yes, sir. And that Blue Jay, he's going to remember that for the rest of his life. Trey Sternad, 6'2", 200-pounder from Caldwell, Blue Jay country. Number 4, recovered a fumble in the end zone for the leading score for the West.
That is the second
That's 4:45 to go.
Score for the West, and we have a timeout for the West. We'll keep it right here. And Larry, we had just finished talking about how mistakes deep in your own end of the field can be magnified. It can't be magnified any more than that right there with the touchdown.
Right. It's like we almost called it, but we didn't know it was going to happen.
And give credit, even though he didn't recover the fumble, Jesse Baxter from his defensive end position. Boy, Nick Fawcett is going to be awful proud of his St. Francis Indians.
Absolutely.
But that play by Jesse Baxter caused the fumble, and then Sternad was there to clean it up. And now looking for the 2-point conversion, which is very, very, very important at this point of the ball game when you have a 6-point contest.
And Jesse Baxter's no little guy, 6'5", 215-pounder. St. Francis Indians had a lot of postseason experience, hadn't they?
I look for the West to, well, they're going to go with an I formation here. See if they have misdirection. There's Blanca, and he is drilled at the line.
I would have thought they was going to have Colton move out, give him a play option, pass.
That's what I thought.
RPO. So much for my thinking. So the score remains 28-22. West on top for the first time all day.
And for the first time, the East All-Stars a little deflated right now. There's not a whole lot of energy on this east sideline.
Nope.
It is all shifted over to the far side of the stadium with the West All-Stars. And they're going to have to get over that pretty quick because, there's 4:45 left, plenty of time to get down the field and score. And if you find a way to get in the end zone, you're a 2-point conversion away from taking the lead.
That's true. You're going to find out what? You're going to find out about Colton Barrett from the Hartford Jaguars, Colby Hamill from Rock Hills Grizzlies, and Brian Hadley from the Lebo Wolves, how they're collecting and trying to give information to Eric Detwater from the Axtell Eagles. We're going to find out how much adrenaline he can pump in. They need an injection, don't they?
They do. They do.
As far as on.
Well, last kick, if you remember, Colin Judeman went high to bring the football down before it went into the end zone. We'll see if he's able to have a return or if Barrientos is able to get it into the end zone.
Nope.
As a low line driver, Judeman will field it near the 10. Coming up the field, hit, and he is still on his feet and finally dropped. In on the tackle
22. And
was number 52, Cale Lindsay with the initial hit. Also in there, Ryan House on the tackle. So it's going to bring up first down and 10 from the 11-yard line.
Yeah. Gale Lindsay, 5'9", 220-pounder, had 44 tackles and 2 fumble recoveries for the South Central Timberwolves. His head coach is there today, Charlie Austin and Gene Glenn, making him proud on that stick.
Mm-hmm.
Stuck him good, didn't he?
First down and 10. The East All-Stars need 69 yards as they're at their own 11.
Uh-oh.
There's another fumble.
It's down. His knee
was
down.
His knee was down when he picked it up.
It'll be blow dead right there.
So back at the 5 and a loss of 6 on the play.
You're not going to trick these old Zebras. They've got 120 years total experience.
And Larry, the first half, the West All-Stars couldn't hang on to the football. The second half, the East All-Stars can't hang on to the football.
Did they catch a virus?
I don't think so. So second down and 16.
Fumbleitis. That's itis, not arthritis, fumbleitis.
Back to pass. Juneman has some time. Now he's going to heave it down the field looking for a man. Oh, nice coverage.
Yes, it was.
Over here by Robles. Cornelison, their intended receiver, is going to bring up 3rd down and long.
You're absolutely correct. That was great defensive pass coverage.
The incompletion makes it now 3rd down and 16 for the East at their own 5-yard line.
Robles from South Central. He's made some nice plays defensively and some nice plays offensively. We figure here for the East, if they get at least half or more, would not be surprised if they're not going for it. Or they could even get a 1st down. Juneman throws it on the backside, has a man, and nothing going. And the clock will continue to run up to the 9-yard line, so a gain of 4 on the play. It's 4th down and 12.
They got to punt out of this hole. They got to bring Clip back in again.
Makes it now 4th down and 12 for the East.
Well, I don't think they are going to punt it. 4th and 12 from the 9.
I think.
So if they have a trick play, this is the time they're going to bring it out.
Yep.
So everybody's on the West is going to have to pay attention and make sure that they do not give up.
I think Eric Deckwater thinks this might not never get the ball back again.
Well, the way the East or the West has been able to run it, they will empty the backfield. Juneman to throw it, has time, up the field, has a man out there. It's caught on his feet. Colin Juneman, he's going to go the distance. Touchdown! Oh, my! 71 yards in the acrobatic score for the Hanover Wildcat.
What an incredible catch. Balance, keep your feet, and then finish it off in the end zone. Because the defensive guy fell down trying to jump up to maybe knock it down or have an interception. Great job. Send 3 of them down and find one of them across the middle open.
And now that 2-point conversion we were talking about. Here we are again with the game tied at 28.
With 2:39 to go in the game.
Where do you go? I would think that number 5 is going to have the ball in his hands right here. Somehow, some way.
Somehow, you're right.
Back to pass. Jacob. Gonna roll. Still looking for some help. Throws it to the back of the end zone. And it's over his head. Incomplete. Intended for Jerome Ferguson. But the pass was incomplete. Boy, Jacob Juneman was improvising for a while back there. And Ferguson was open. But, man, he had so far to throw that. It was tough. So now with 2:39 to go, we are all tied at 28. The last team to have the ball in their hands is going to win this game.
I think you're right.
I think regardless. Man, what a ball game. Well, now if you're the West, you've got 2:39. You got 2 timeouts remaining.
And
where you look at offensively.
And what was amazing, though, Jeremy, is that they had 4th down and long on that play.
4th
that
and
was
12.
Yeah, 4th or die on a 12-yard. And then they turned it in 3 of them, long receivers going down there across the middle. Great reception by Juneman. Kept his balance and finished it off. Now, well, I looked for Colton Marty. Colton McCarty's going to be figuring in this thing if he can get that little Perez open or Pruitt. You could get Robles or Perez or Pruitt. So Colton McCarty's got some weapons.
And you can't forget about Shadron Blanca.
No. Across the middle. He's the bulldog. He's your bulldozer type player, mainly.
Blanca and Perez back deep, and the ball fell off the tee.
Who blew it off? Because there ain't that much wind.
Benny will put it back. I think he's looking for that perfect spot.
Okay. He ain't got to try no onside kick, is he? No.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't think so, but I wouldn't put it past Eric Detweiler right now. Nope, and that ball is
not returned.
Well into the end zone. So here we go. The East defense back onto the field. The West offense back onto the field.
That's what you're looking for, isn't it? Tie ball game, good game, not a runaway. Huh?
That's perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect. This has been a great ball game. There have been mistakes made. You expect it, for something like this for these guys that have just gotten together, haven't played football since November.
That's right.
In what was a wildly strange season anyway. So this is about as normal of a football game as they've probably been able to experience.
Here we go. What do you think he's got up his sleeve?
Probably a pass to the flat. There it is. Catch is made by Wolf. He makes a man miss. Cooper Wolf still on his feet and does tumble down at the 15-yard line. Oh, my goodness. What else can happen? 50 yards and a first down.
If you score, you don't want to score too quick because the East might come back on you. Huh? That's going to be a factor.
What a play.
A great effort. He juked and jived him, too, after he caught that ball and got open.
I mean, the pass traveled back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
15
and then
Wolf
yards.
Made the rest of it happen.
And the clock's running.
2:25 and counting. Blanca, right side. Boy, what a solid tackle.
Great tackle there by
Jacob Juneman. Had only 10 tackles on the season. Wasn't asked to play a lot of defense for Matt Hoyer, but a pickup of 2 on the play for Shadron Blanca. 15 carries, 25 yards.
But Jacob Juneman's been an incredible quarterback for Hanover Wildcats forever. Didn't have to play defense that much, but 10 tackles this last year.
They will double tight in. There's Blanca again. He got hit as he neared the 10. Lance Kaiser in on the tackle.
And
gain of a couple more.
Lance Kaiser is quite a guy. He even got in the state golf. He got second in the state golf.
It's not bad.
Turner gave me fits on that one.
So 1:20 to go here in the ball game. 2 timeouts remaining for both teams. 3rd down and 6. If the West plays their cards right, they shouldn't give much time left for the East, whether they score or don't score. McCarty to the outside. He's got a first down out of bounds.
First and goal.
Colton McCarty down at the 2, out of bounds with 1:04 to go. That is a pickup of 9 yards.
And that's taking off what he did for the Cheyenne Cougars. 121 carries, 1,833 yards, 34 touchdowns. Colton McCarty, 6 foot, 192-pounder.
And that is the first time, Larry,
They
they have gone naked.
That's right.
They've gone power side with the carry every time, but this time he circled out to the backside and was able to get the first down. See if they can get that offensive line. Esplin, Barrientos, Holmes. It's McCarty. Bowling in, left side. Touchdown for the West. Colton McCarty into the end zone with 59 seconds to play in the game.
Well, there's plenty of time for the East when you got the gentleman at the throttle.
And 2 timeouts.
That's true.
And the timeouts are a huge factor as well. And this 2-point conversion
is
enormous.
It's enormous.
It puts all of the pressure on the East All-Stars.
Look at there.
And we got a timeout.
East?
East. They want to talk about it. We'll keep it right here. This is a huge play coming up. You know the coaches all week long and the players have been formulating, hey, this is what we want to do. This is how we want to do it. And when it comes down to it, they know who they want to make the big play at the end.
Well, none other than Charlie Austin and England, they want the ball in Johnny Robles' hand with the last possession to win the game. That's who they want to have it in there.
Well,
so he could be a factor in this play.
Here's the situation. They looked like they were coming out in that carnival set, and so that's where you put a lot of Robles in motion.
Drop him back, put him in motion. And if the East has it, last possession to win the game, Eric Detweiler, Colton Barrett, Colby Hamill, and Brian Hadley said they want to have the ball in Colin Ginneman's hand to win the game.
And understandably so.
Yes, so. You betcha.
That young man has had himself a day.
Well, I told you he got second in the long jump in state and seventh in the 200. The kid's got some wheels.
Well, they're going to come out this time, Larry Jantz, and go with the double tight end set, so Robles not on the field.
Comes in the eye.
There's the pitch to Blanca, looks for the edge, cuts it up. He's in!
He got it.
Shadron Blanca for the 2-point conversion, and the West All-Stars are on top 36-28, and another one of the few times that they have pitched it outside the tight end. They've been going between the guard and the tight end.
And he hasn't run the I formation that much all day long either.
So Blanca into the end zone with the 2-point conversion, 36-28 is the score. And now all of a sudden, the East All-Stars have 59 seconds to get the ball in the end zone. If they do that, they also have to convert a 2-point conversion.
That's right.
Following the second game, there will be a coach's social and a short meeting at the Beloit Country Club, which is located on the east side of town. Again, that's for any and all.
36-28 the score. Back deep for the East will be Colin Juneman. And then Cornelison will be there as well. Gavin Cornelison from Frankfurt. Trey Barrientos will tee it up for the West. His last kick was kind of a hard squib that got down to Juneman. The kick before that was the one where Juneman skied up to keep it out of the end zone.
And earlier was one in the end zone, the touchback. So keep your eyes on the toe, football.
Barrientos has it teed. That ball is deep, and that one is not going to be returned.
There you go.
Barrientos kicked that one into the end zone. He channeled his inner uncle on that one.
I'm not so sure of that. I know you are his uncle, but I wouldn't go that far. I don't think you could kick an apple that off the tee that very
Back
far.
in the day, I could have.
Well, you couldn't?
Now, it's been so long, it might be a little ugly at this point. But back to the game in hand.
That's right.
So first down and 10 from the 15. The East has 65 yards, 59 seconds, 2 timeouts remaining. They will split everybody out to the near side. Well, one to the near.
Got twins.
Back to pass. They throw it out in the flat to Colin Juneman. Cuts it back in. Will get to the edge. He does get out of bounds.
Almost first
He almost
down.
got tackled in bounds, too, and that would have been even a little bit harder to take because the clock would have been ticking. But he gets up, picks up 9. 254 yards. 14 for 18, 254. 3 touchdowns for Jacob Juneman.
He's got Collins split out here to the left. Bad snap.
Back to pass. Throws it up. Did that out and up, and missed his man over there on the far side. Busing.
Baxter made a heck of a good defensive stance there. On number 72, Zachary Skillman. kind of almost laid him out. He's trying to protect old Jacob.
And if you are the West defense right now, I would let the East throw it on. If they want to throw the out pattern, let them throw it.
Don't get beat on the deep.
Don't step up on it. But if you are the East, I would throw that same pattern again because they just fell for it.
They're backed up some now. Look at it. See? That's what I do.
3rd down and 1. Judeman with the snap. Back to throw. He's pressured. He's down. Schreiber again.
And Zabernicki.
What a play. All the way back to the 14-yard line. A loss of 10 on the play. Sternat in there. Schreiber was in there. It is
Zabernicki. But more important,
fourth down.
It's 4th
and
down.
11.
That's the important thing. 4th down. Either they pick up 11 yards or more, or
Ball
turn the
game's
ball
over.
The ball game's over.
So 39 seconds left, 4th and 11. The last time they faced 4th down and long,
we know what happened.
they went 71 yards for a score.
An incredible pass and catch by the Junimans.
Now you're looking at the ball was on the far hash the last time, and so they were able to work Colin Juneman all the way back over the field. Now it's on the near hash. Do you work him back the other way, let Jacob roll out to his right? But if you are the West, I would say keep your eyes on number 5, and they might go to the 2 defensive lineman type of look here. Or they've been getting good pressure as well. I don't know if they want to do that.
Earlier in the game, they used that Gerstner kid from Frankfurt, a lot of in-motion plays, and he's fast as speed. Mm-hmm. They might use Colin for a decoy just to try to get the first down and pass the thing, get Gerstner open.
And Gerstner,
because they're not going to look for him.
He's out with a shoulder injury right now, so he is.
So they can't look at him.
So, I mean, they can, but they'll be throwing it out of bounds to the sideline.
Who are they going to use, the receivers?
They'll
Braden
have
Perez.
Busing is out there. Cornelison is out there.
Sevens
They're split
out
to
there.
the far side.
Busing he'll go to.
And now Juneman motions out that way. Same play.
Yep.
Back to pass. Jacob throws it over the middle. Incomplete.
And that might be the game.
Incomplete. He was looking over there on the far side for Cornelison. It is incomplete, and that is going to be your ball game. One of the best all-star games we have ever seen. Yeah, what an effort by these teams today. The East controlled the first half. The West has controlled the second half. It's been back and forth the whole way. So with 38 seconds to go, all the West has to do is put a knee down, and this ball game will be over. The East can still take a timeout. And Tyler Holmes will do the snapping. Colton McCarty, the quarterback. There'll be an I formation.
You know what's incredible to me, Jeremy, is that that's 28 points by the West in this last quarter.
That is a lot of points in
in
one
the
quarter.
last quarter. Of course, they scored the first play of this 4th quarter, remember? Here they go.
Clock winds. They set it down. They won't have to snap the football again. Well, great sportsmanship by Tyler Holmes, going and shaking all the officials' hands and thanking them for what they've done. Chris Steiner will be proud of his young man for doing that. And the teams have had a great week here in Beloit. A tough loss for the East All-Stars. A fantastic win for the West All-Stars as they went up by a score of 36-28, and it was a barn burner here in Beloit today, Larry Jan.
Yes, it was. Exciting to watch. Tale of two halves. Each team won the first half, West team won the second half, and the final score.
Man, these young men are excited. They might be a little drained because it's getting pretty hot down there on the field, but
Getting a little sticky.
getting a little on the sticky side. We are up to, it still says 84 degrees. But the winner is the Division II West by a score of 36-28. The scoring for today, the East on the scoreboard at 10:22 mark took them a minute and 38 seconds. A 48-yard pass from Jacob Juneman to Mitchell Busing. 2-point conversion was good on the Colin Juneman run. It was 8-0, and then a little over 4 minutes later, Colin Juneman again from Jacob Juneman. A 59-yard pass made it 14-0. That was all the scoring in the first half. In the second half, with 5:52 to go in the third quarter, Clayton Shriver, a 17-yard interception return for a touchdown. Colton McCarty added the 2-point conversion, made it 14-8. In the East answered a 13-yard touchdown from Jacob Juneman as he scrambled to his left. He got in the end zone with 2:39 to go in the third quarter. He also added the conversion run to make it 22-8. And then the West answered again. Colton McCarty, the first play of the fourth quarter on a 1-yard touchdown run, 22-16 was the score. And then on the West again, Colton McCarty aired it out for a wide open Shadron Blanca from 54 yards out, made the score 22-22 after the conversion failed. Then the West again. This time, Trey Sternat, a fumble recovery in the end zone with 4:45 to go. The conversion run failed, made it 28-22. 2:39 to go in the fourth quarter. The East on the board. Colin Juneman on 4th and 12. An acrobatic 71-yard touchdown catch from Jacob Juneman with 2:39 to go. Juneman tried to pass to Jerome Ferguson after he scrambled, threw it over his head in the back of the end zone, and the score is tied 28-28 after the conversion failed. Then the West, Colton McCarty again, a 2-yard touchdown run with 59 seconds to go. Then after a timeout, the run to the left side by Shadron Blanca converted the 2-point conversion, and your final score is the Division II West All-Stars 36, the Division II East All-Stars 28. That's how an All-Star game should be.
Yes, it is. Just an incredible flip-flop of who had the momentum in the first half and the second half, Jeremy.
The West celebrating, the East in a huddle. And the thing that's hard about this part is this is the last time that all these guys will be together. They're teammates for a week, built relationships that will last a lifetime. But as a collective group, it's the last time they'll be together, and that can be tough for these kids too.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
So your final score: the Division II West All-Stars 36, the Division II East All-Stars 28. Special thanks to everybody who made our broadcast possible, the sponsors, as well as everybody on the cameras, in the truck, back in the offices. For analyst Larry Jantz, I'm Jeremy McGuire saying so long from Trojan Field in Beloit on Smoky Hills PBS.